Greetings, pro wrestling fans, and thank you for joining us at the Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. I'm Nick, and I'm sitting here with...
Oh, the real one and only, Donovan, back in the building.
Spelling it again. Good to have you back. The round table is back.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm here on a wild card, so yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same. I'm stuck to my one brand here. I'm stuck. We thank you guys for checking out the Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. This is episode 44 of the Roundtable. Sorry we were away last week. We hope you enjoyed the look back, the OG look back of SummerSlam 1998.
Yep.
Me, Don, Jag. It was pretty good. I enjoyed doing the little intro and re-dropping it. We're definitely going to be doing more of that. Dropping the old episodes and hopefully getting some new ones recorded as well. But if you don't already, give us a follow on Instagram and Twitter at PW Lookback on both of those. Give us a subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, YouTube. Hit the 5 stars. Leave a comment. Send us a DM. Let us know what you think. All that stuff is appreciated. If you want to get yourself a t-shirt, sticker, backpack, maybe. No, not yet. Tank top. That's
Sure.
there. Tank top's there.
Tank top's there.
Teespring.com/Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. If you want to send us an email, Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast at gmail.com. And if you want to follow me or Donovan on Twitter, at Salsa, SCELSA is mine.
And at JustDon44, and I might not follow you back.
Nice guy over there, Don. It's the wild card rules, you know.
It happens, man.
But that's what's up. This is episode 44 of the Roundtable, and yeah, we're back at it.
Wow,
44. Isn't that your favorite number?
Well, I'm the 4 guy, yeah. So
Didn't you say something? I think
way back.
Yeah, on
Yep.
like episode 12, which was my favorite number. I think I was like, yeah. This is my favorite number. It's my dad's favorite number, and you're like, yeah, we should have done something for 4. Well, why the fuck didn't you pipe up? There you go. I'm happy you piped up now, Don.
44.
Episode 44. I'm gonna call it the Lewis Hamilton episode.
Okay, cool. I like that.
LH 44. Yeah, like we said though, it's been a I don't want to say a while,
Not a while.
but it's been about a week. So what's up, man?
Lots, I guess. I feel I've been busy.
Yeah, fuck.
You've
I've
been busy?
only seen you twice. We watched Raw and then
Yeah.
today.
That was
But-
fun.
Oh yeah, Raw was good.
I
it was okay.
I mean, like just us
getting
sitting
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Hurdy, Newell, Moo, all the boys.
Yep.
It was good to have the full Raw crew back together. And I was thinking about it, like, I'm really trying to enjoy, because, I mean, anybody listening, I mean, I'm not sure if you know or not, if we've talked about it, but we all get together and we all watch Raw on Monday nights. And, you know, one of our buddies plays hockey on the other side of the world, and some guys, we don't always meet up together. So I'm really trying to soak in these nights, because I know when, you know, December, January comes around and we're sitting here watching Raw in the fucking pitch dark because it's dark by 8 o'clock and it's freezing outside, you know, we're not going to have the whole crew of boys. So shout out to them for coming by for Raw. It's been a lot of fun through the summer, and looking forward to the next three. I think there's 3 more till Hurdy's off, but
Yeah.
we'll get Newell and Moo in here as well. So
Yeah. We gotta get Newell on for a show one time.
oh, 100%.
That'd be fun.
He would be like, we've had casual fans on before, but Newell would be, I think, taking it to a new level of casual fan.
Yeah, he's got some people he roots for.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. But, and I mean, like, because guys like Tanner who have been on the show and,
Yep.
and Moo was on the show before, but
Yep.
they know they've listened to guys like me and you talk about pro wrestling so much
Mhm.
that I think they've got a little bit of different kind of eyes, whereas Newell still can look at it with the
Fandom.
exactly
Yeah.
non-jadedness,
Yeah.
if that's a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I know you were talking to me a little bit about the UFC show last week.
Oh Jesus.
How was your night?
It was great, man. It was awesome. And you know what? Speaking of Tanner, shout out to Tanner.
Yeah.
You know, I actually hit him up in the early part of the show to remind him. You know, he was about to witness greatness. He was about to witness John Jones in action and retain his title, which he did. Which I'm
In the main event?
which I'm super jacked about. The card itself was just it was stacked. You know what I mean? On paper, it was one of those ones going into. As a fan, you're like
Every fight here looks like it's going to be a good one, probably.
Salivating at the mouth, literally like waiting for every matchup. So it definitely lived up to the hype.
For
I'll
sure.
say.
Yeah. What were the top 3? Because I know we've kind of done the last few roundtables we've had where there was a UFC show. We've kind of talked about the top 2-3 matches that took place that night. So even if what were the more ones that stood out for you?
To be fair, man, I'm just going to quickly run through the main card because
Yeah,
it was
go
so
for it.
dope I have to. I mean, the first one, good match. You probably know. So it was Diego Sanchez, who's a vet.
I've heard the name. I know the name, yeah.
He's from like fucking going back to the very first Ultimate Fighter.
Okay, yeah.
So he's a OG of the fucking game. And he was taking on Michael Chiesa, and this was a welterweight fight, so 170. It was
Michael Chiesa.
Michael
Sounds like a chef.
Yeah, Michael Chiesa is solid, though. He's a good, well-rounded cat who definitely has found his own at this weight division. He formerly fought at 155. Now he stepped up to 170, and he's got a couple of wins, picked up a pretty convincing, dominating win here against a vet.
Nice.
So that was a good way to open up the show, as far as the main card was concerned. And then after that, we had a light heavyweight fight. Okay, so excuse me if I can't get this name right of the one contender. I think it was Jan Blachowicz, and he was fighting Luke Rockhold. So this fight was really exciting for me to watch going into it because Luke Rockhold, he's a former middleweight champion.
And he's moving up?
And he's moving up in weight, yeah. So this was more of his natural walking around weight.
Yeah.
And this was his debut fight in that division.
Okay, cool.
Unfortunately for Luke, though, man, he did not pick up a win here, and he got brutally knocked out. Like, I mean brutally.
Is this the one that I'm...
No.
Okay, we're going to get to that.
We'll get to that.
I was going to say, hey, you want to talk about brutal knockouts on this card? I think we all know what...
We got a few. Dude.
Yeah.
So this is second fight in on the main card, and let me see. Yeah, in the second round at a minute and 39 seconds, kabam, Luke got fucking dropped, and you see him, and his hair is up, like knocked up, and the look on his face is like, where am I? Sorry for the people who can't see me, but literally,
Yeah.
Like,
his eyes are kind of down, almost
took
closed.
another one. The ref didn't jump in time. Took another one, and then he just fell back. And
Did the other guy get any punches in on the ground or no?
well, that second one on the ground, like Luke was already down. He got dropped and he fell, and then he was like, whoa, and then kaboof, and he was out. Like he was already out. Like it should have been stopped when he hit the ground. I think. I'd have to go back and watch it, but it was bad. I felt bad for him because this is a guy I root for. He's a guy who's suffered some bad knockouts as of late too, like in the other division. So we all thought maybe, if he can find his place in this division, he can thrive again. Because this guy's a former middleweight champion. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah.
So, yeah. Unfortunately for Luke, man,
is this kind of the last chance? You think he'll have one more real opportunity to see what he can do in this division? Because this is light heavyweight, you said, right? He's coming up from middleweight.
I'd like to see him maybe.
Light heavy 170, is that what you said?
No, so light heavyweight is 205.
That's what I thought. I was going to say, I thought it was bigger.
Yeah, same division as John Jones and those guys.
Yeah, and Chuck Liddell back in the day, Forrest Griffin, all the guys that I kind of know of.
And the interesting thing about all that, the whole talk there was Luke Rockhold's a guy who trains with Daniel Cormier and Cain Velasquez, Khabib, and that whole camp. So he comes from a tough fucking camp.
I didn't know Khabib trained at the same...
Yep, a.k.a. with DC.
Oh, that's wild.
So, yeah, man, the whole talk here was kind of about, hey, if Luke Rockhold gets a nice convincing win here, he could possibly contend with John Jones in the future. And he's a guy with a well-rounded skill set where he might be a threat to John Jones. So, like, people were already talking about that, kind of overlooking this guy. And I was like, I don't think you want to do that, man. Like, we don't know a lot about this Jan Blachowicz, but I don't ever count out a guy who's the underdog, who's coming in hungry, unknown. As to where Luke's kind of, he's a polo model. Like, he does that on the side, Ralph Lauren. Like, he's dabbled into that world.
I feel like this relates to our conversation about rap music prior to hitting record and maybe becoming a little more stagnant once you're at the top.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Whereas you're never as hungry as you are on your way up.
And that's what, in a lot of the other shows and interviews I've watched post this UFC card, you hear people kind of saying, like, maybe Luke should hang it up. He's got a good career over there. Before he suffers like serious, because he's had his last two knockouts even before were bad, man. He's had some bad ones, so you wonder at this point. But
going forward,
shout out to my boy Luke anyway.
Yeah, sorry if I'm having any mic issues tonight too, guys. I'm trying to figure it out behind the scenes here, but it seems to be figuring itself out.
I think you're okay, but yeah,
I've just noticed the levels have been going up and down quite a bit, so I just wanted to let the listeners know I am working on that.
Engineer cells.
Trying. So
then the next fight. Jesus, this was the big one, man. This was George Maz Vidale versus Ben Askren, and this was a welterweight matchup at the 170 weight class.
Yeah.
And this was the one that ended in 5 seconds. Which
so the
was
shortest,
really like 3.
The shortest fight in UFC history, the fastest knockout in UFC history. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
And okay, so anybody who hasn't seen this, maybe Google UFC fast 3-second knockout. Yeah. It was like a running knee. The guy tried to pick him up, I think, to get him a takedown, and then just didn't know. Knee right to the face, out cold, and then he took one punch on the ground. But I want your opinion as far as like how planned was this? Did he know he was doing this? Like, or do you think he decided that like, okay, I'm gonna run on him? Or do you think they planned in training camp like he's gonna go for a takedown right at the beginning? If you run in there and catch him with this knee, worst case scenario, all you do is get taken down. Best case scenario, you knock him out.
Yeah.
That's what the way I looked at it.
I think, well, Maz Vidale, the winner who delivered the knee, he said that he said that he kind of planned for it going into it because there's a story behind this fight.
I heard that he said he's not done. He's like, if I see that motherfucker at the grocery store, I'm gonna fucking knock him out again or something.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't say anything like that. No,
really. No. I heard Joe Rogan literally say that.
No, he said
that. He said if I see him at the grocery store, I'm not done with him.
No, he didn't say that. He was saying things along lines like he's like, I still don't like the dude. He's like, he's a bum. Like, he thinks he doesn't like him, and
trippy. I don't know what I heard then. I must have been hearing something that they were talking about something else.
He said if I see him like outside, like he's like, I'm not gonna go beat him up or anything. He's like, but I'm not. He's like, I still don't like him.
Didn't the guy that got knocked out say a lot of fucked up shit to him going into that fight about like his family and shit?
Not necessarily his family. So it was just the whole story behind the fight was basically Ben Askren is a guy he actually comes from Bellator originally. He's a well-known wrestler. He's had an undefeated record up until this point of like 19-0. And he's very well known for his wrestling. So he left Bellator undefeated. He went to ONE FC, which is another promotion in Japan, dominated over there. For years, people have been saying, go to the UFC, go to the UFC. Everyone always wanted to see him in the UFC, see how he does against that level of guys, right? So he finally comes over. He picks up a win in his first UFC fight, a controversial win at that.
When was that, roughly?
That was back on the last actual John Jones card, too.
So not that long ago.
Not that long ago, yeah.
Okay,
a few months
anyway.
ago. So Ben Askren's the guy, much like a Chael Sonnen, I want to say, a Conor McGregor to a certain degree, of where he knows how to sell a fight off of a promotion style, much as we see in the fucking pro wrestling world. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So he likes to chirp and talk shit and this and that. Maz Vidale is a guy kind of like a Nick Diaz, I want to say, or somebody who's more from a background
Khabib, maybe not quite to that intensity, but I mean, like, I feel like Khabib's more like there to fight.
Maz Vidale's more like a street dude who's like, man, if you talk about me, I'll punch you in the fucking mouth.
Yeah.
So he's more like,
I don't care about the show.
Yeah, he's like, if you talk shit about me,
I'm here to see who's tougher, not who can talk better, talk better shit.
Exactly. And
I see what you mean.
When they had met up in media days and stuff, Maz Vidale would approach him and he'd say that Ben Askren was quiet, and he's like, yeah, like, I heard you're pretty tough. Like, he wouldn't bring the same energy that he was bringing online and in these promos, and so he didn't like that.
Anyway,
ultimately, it led to one of the most
insane
brutal
KOs,
knockouts I've ever seen in my entire life. Like,
for sure, it'll be talked about forever. I think it's just the speed of it and the unexpectedness. I mean, I wasn't watching it live. I'm not an avid UFC watcher, but it's cool that we talked UFC and Formula 1 and wrestling on this show. I feel like we're melding into something new, but
definitely.
And I like learning, and I know you like learning about the racing stuff too. So it's cool.
So right before the fight, the whole promo package, I was with Chohan, a friend of the show, and Jag as well, who's
been on the show. He was on the LookBack show last week from 98 SummerSlam.
Yeah, and so I looked at the boys and I'm like, man, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, going into it, I couldn't obviously not predicted this, but I'm like, fuck, I'm jacked. Like, I was super. This is one of the fights I was anticipating of the night, and then as soon as it starts, just to hear that like, you hear the smack of the man's knee on his fucking head, and the looks on everyone's face. I was in a Boston Pizza, and the looks on people's faces, and the sound, the screaming, and I started banging on the table. I couldn't help but get into it, and I was just like, oh my, everyone's going crazy, man, and. Best description. Thank you for that. Honestly, like, it was fucking wild, man. I don't know if I've seen a knockout like that. Like, I've seen some crazy ones, and I said that last time with Valentina knocking out Jessica High with the head kick.
And that was a crazy knockout too. I remember that. Yeah, that was fucked.
Yeah.
So there's been some good ones here in the last little while in the UFC.
And now this elevates George, where I think this guy deserves a fucking title shot anyway, because like there was talk about the winner of this getting the title shot, but he fucking earned it at this point. Like, definitely. There's not a clear-cut guy at this point. And
were those two guys kind of like the winner gets title shot, more or less, kind of?
Yeah, it's a sticky situation. There's another fight coming up in a couple weeks, and there's talks about one of those guys maybe being the guy. But unless somebody wins convincingly and just as impressive in that fight, definitely I would give it to Maz Vidale.
Shit.
So on the moving on to the next fight, we had the women's bantamweight title on the line, and this was Amanda Nunes versus Holly Holm.
Ooh.
Two former
well-known names, that's for sure.
Two former opponents of Ronda Rousey. Amanda Nunes has beaten damn near every woman in the business at this point, like all the top chicks.
It's crazy. And I've actually watched a lot of her fights, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's
you've
crazy.
seen her quite a bit now, right?
For somebody who doesn't watch too much UFC, I feel like I've seen a lot of her fights live.
I'm honestly surprised she's not like more popular and known, because like I think she's the first like openly gay champion too.
Didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like I feel like
I'm surprised they don't like
they market it a little bit, but I feel
the
like
UFC should use that more. I
you
feel
know what
like.
I mean? But going into this fight, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm not a big fan of Amanda Nunes because she's like, to me, she's the dream killer. Because all the girls she beats, I like.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and that's everyone. She's lost, correct? Like she's not undefeated.
Yeah, she's not undefeated, but she's been on a tear for the past several years now.
Yeah, no, I wasn't taking anything away from her. I just kind of, I was stating that it's not like she's come into the company and then never lost.
Yeah.
She's just kind of made a name for herself and beaten everyone, whether they've beaten her once or not.
Yeah,
She's come back and beat them.
beat Misha,
Yeah.
beat Ronda, beat Cyborg, and
The Cyborg one, I remember that was a big deal. Like that was a big fight when they fought.
yeah,
And obviously this one is too with Misha Tate. I'm not trying to take anything away from Misha Tate, but
yeah,
I remember how significant that Cyborg.
yeah, because that was her becoming the first
Yeah.
also woman.
Or Holly. I'm not taking away anything from Holly Holm. Sorry.
Yeah, no. And Amanda Nunes is also the first women's double champ. So she holds the 145 belt and the 135 belt.
Wow.
So that's another notch in her belt. Like she's just making history all over the board.
At least Ronda's got that. I was the first, eh?
Yep.
She can always hold on to that. And I'm not taking it again. I'm not taking anything away from her. It's just like a lot of her shit is going to be eclipsed pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And has been already almost.
Definitely.
But she's like I said, she can hold on to that being the first. So was this a good fight?
Yeah, it was, man. It was unfortunate for me that my girl Holly Holm did not pick up the win.
Was it a decision?
No, it was a fucking knockout in round one.
Oh my goodness. So this was a good damn card.
This is what I'm saying to you, man. There's a lot of knock. It was just like, so in the last two fights, we had, Blachowicz knockout Rockhold. We had Maz Vidale knockout Ben Askren. So we're kind of flying through.
You're
them
flying
at this point,
through,
right?
yeah.
So yeah, round one. And the sad part is for me as a Holly Holm fan is that Holly Holm was looking fucking impressive, dude. Like she was holding her own. She, you know what I mean? She had good defense. Holly Holm comes from like a serious boxing background.
Yeah.
And she was utilizing her distance well. And I thought she was going to go into the next round and maybe kind of take a little more control. But Amanda just throws those fucking bombs. And
So sorry to cut you off. So who's next now? Who's next in line? Because I'm assuming Holly Holm's got to go back and win a couple fights before she can get a shot at Misha again.
yeah.
Especially since they've already fought twice. No?
At Amanda, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, at Amanda.
Yeah. No, this was their first fight. This was their
Okay.
first fight. Well, see now, so this was Amanda coming and defending her 135 title. There's talk about her going and wanting to give Cyborg a rematch for that 145 title. I know Cyborg has a bout coming up on the next UFC
Oh,
card
so she went down to
defend that title. She already had it.
okay.
So
For my bad again. I'm not a
it's okay.
super big
no.
UFC watcher, so I had thought that they had fought before. So this was the first time she beat Holly Holm.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the thing. Holly was also the last of the Mohicans because at this
Well, I was
point,
gonna say, wasn't Holly the first one to beat Ronda?
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. So that's what made this fight that much bigger because it's like, okay, so Amanda's beaten, Ronda, Misha, Cyborg. Holly's the only one she hasn't beaten. And Holly's up there. Holly's contested with all those girls
Of course.
as well.
She's
So-
one of the ones I know. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen her kind of grow.
So, yeah, I was really I like her a lot. Like,
For
so I
sure.
was really rooting for her. And, yeah, she just,
So
Amanda again, man, killing my dreams. So,
the dream killer.
straight up, man.
The dream killer. What was next?
Next we had the main event of the night. And this was John Jones defending his light heavyweight title against Thiago Santos. And so not that the fight wasn't interesting, but this fight did go to a decision.
I heard that. I heard it was
And,
also a split decision.
yeah, there was one judge who was going to give it to Thiago.
Yeah, that's
And then
what,
when that
again. I
happened-
heard that on Joe's podcast this week.
My heart was kind of, I was like, not like this. I was like, this is not how John Jones is losing his belt by a decision.
And wouldn't that be his first loss? Like real loss?
Yeah. And to be honest, not just because I'm a fan, but I didn't think he lost that fight. Like
Who, John? No, and
Yeah.
I didn't think he did either. I just like
I mean this one. Even.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I was only bringing that up because again, I had heard it on Rogan's podcast where he said like, it was a split decision too. It wasn't like a given,
Which to me was, that was crazy. And so like I noticed a couple people leave the Boston Pizza that we were at. Like a couple guys walked out
before the match started.
Yeah, and like during it, and then like there were still a lot of people there.
Yeah,
diehards obviously, and then like even the crowd, they were kind of not as into it as much.
How long was the show? Were they getting WWE on you?
No, but the thing is, the crowd got spoiled. Like that's all it was.
3 knockouts in a row.
Yeah, and unique ones, and one of the fastest ones.
But you'd think that like, after I don't know, maybe again I'm not a huge UFC fan, so I don't know. But you'd think that maybe that would be better because you're seeing a bit of everything.
That's how I look.
You're seeing some knockouts, and then you're also going to see 2 guys beat the fuck out of each other and go five rounds. Yep. Championship, and it was a main event, right?
Yep.
They've changed that, right? I remember before the main events used to be 5 rounds, or no, championship matches were 5 rounds. Yeah. Now the main event is no matter what, even if it's not for the title.
Even if it's not, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
But yeah, all championships are 5 rounds.
But so overall, it's a good fight.
It was a good fight. I enjoyed it. To me, it was still exciting because Thiago is a guy who he has that fucking hammer and he's been KOing motherfuckers, and that's what got him this title shot. And so he was. And this just goes to show how good fucking John Jones' chin is, man. Because this guy was throwing those bombs and Jones is eating those. He was eating them and backing up and using his distance still.
Yeah.
Throwing the famous fucking kick to the top of the knee, the oblique fucking kick, which I love.
That's so
he's such a
fucked. I can't even think about that kick coming at my knee and inverting. Like, was that what he's trying to do? Is invert your knee?
Yeah, at the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, because he's a long, lanky dude, right?
Oh yeah. Well, that's what. Again, I heard that on Rogan this week too. Because he talks a lot about UFC and obviously, but he's talking about how he's so good at using his distance.
Yeah.
Like there's no one better at just using that distance that he has.
Mm-hmm. So at this level and this point of his career, like he definitely fought a safer fight. Like he wasn't taking a ton of risks. He still threw some crazy wheel kicks and tried a spinning elbow and like the usual arsenal of a John Jones. But he, not a finish, but still an impressive fight for me as a fan and an enjoyable fight. Because there was moments where Thiago's throwing and I'm like, no. Like I don't want to see it end. Like John Jones, he's my favorite fighter of all time, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't want it to end like that. But overall, enjoyed the fucking card.
Overall, I feel like this is half a look back, so I want to get it from you here, Don. Okay. We'll let it play out.
Moments of the night.
Dun, dun.
Moments of the night.
Dun, dun, dun.
For anybody who hasn't listened to the LookBack Show, this is our Moments of the Night segment, taken right from the LookBack Show, and I'm curious what Donovan's moments of the night were for UFC 239.
I remember it this time.
There you go. I was actually going to guess because I feel like I've looked them all up the last few.
Oh, fuck. Definitely.
I think.
Yeah, it's hands down the Maz Vidale KO, man.
Yeah, it's the knee. That knee. If you didn't say the knee, then I would have been surprised.
Because, dude, his hands were behind his back.
It's boss time.
Wrong one. Looking for the explosion.
It was fucking boss time when he came through, man. Dude, his hands were behind his back.
When he ran at him?
Like, he started like that. Like, that's kind of his thing now. Like, I'll put it to you this way. There was a guy in London, and he said some shit about Maz Vidale backstage, and Maz Vidale walked up to him with his hands behind his back, and he says, "What'd you say?" And he just, and he's pop. So he's known for this thing now, 3-piece and a soda, because he hit him with the 3-piece combo. And he's got a shirt. And this guy's now become like a beloved guy just off of being himself.
Well, that's awesome.
Keeping it real.
Yeah, that's fucking, there's nothing wrong with that at all, man.
It's great.
And people, UFC fans, the guys like you who watch this shit on a regular basis, they want to see shit like that.
Yeah, man.
And those are the moments you're sticking around for. And obviously, like I said, to me at least, looking as an outsider, it would be better to have a show like this where it was some KOs, some women's, like obviously there's women's fights on every show, but I don't know, good variety
definitely
for the whole UFC card.
And I don't mean to yak your ear off with my MMA.
No, it's okay.
There's like one more little piece I forgot to leave
Go for it.
I left out of this story. So, we get to this Boston Pizza, all right?
Yeah.
At the beginning of the night. And you go to a nice restaurant, you got some nice looking women who work there.
Yeah,
typically
that's standard.
So all the girls, pretty nice looking girls.
Usually.
So we get seated, and my buddy Jags, he's kind of checking the one girl. He's like, damn, I hope we get her. And, so me and him got there first before Joanne, so we're there.
I hope she's our server.
And not to knock the girl, man, but they gave us.
I can't wait to hear the rest of this.
She was a heavy set girl.
Okay, so I don't want to. And I wait to hear the rest of this before.
I'm hearing, I'm thinking, I'm like, of all the, like, they put us in this weird corner kind of seat, but it ended up working with the views of the TVs. But man, the boys were not too happy with our tags. Like, holy fuck, like, come on, you know what I mean? Out of all the fucking girls, like, you gotta give us the one.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Okay. So she was a nice girl, though. You know what I mean? She was cool.
Was she a good server, Don?
She was a decent server.
She could remember your orders, and
she was a decent server. I'll give her that.
Okay.
But
was she jotting the orders down, or was she one of those remembering in their head people? Because those people always get me.
I believe she
was
like
this motherfucker.
No, I believe she was jotting them down.
Anyway,
but there's a couple she might have fucked up on some shit. That happens. Whatever, dude. I've never experienced this part though. So we're there, and the first fight starts, and a guy comes on the fucking sound system. Hello, hey. Hello, everybody. How you doing out there tonight? Hope everyone's having a great night out there. I'm like, what? I'm looking at Jag. I'm like, dude, the fight's about to start. What the fuck is this?
Shut the hell up!
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Boston Pizza at Major Mac. And I hope you're all going to be here in 2 weeks. We got Manny Pacquiao fighting in a boxing match.
What?
Manny Pacquiao. I hope everybody out there is having a great night and you're ready to enjoy some fights. Let's get it on. Okay, wait. And then he pauses for a sec. He pauses. And I'm like, hey, and don't forget to hashtag Boston Pizza Major Mackenzie. Comes off. I looked at Jag. I'm like, I recorded that audio on my phone. If you'd like to hear it,
I would love to hear it if you have it.
Here, I'll give it to you for the people of the show.
That's incredible.
Or I can just play it through my microphone for you. But I got this for you, just for you. I honestly did this just for you. I was like, man, I gotta give this to Nick. And he needs to hear this shit that happened to BP. So this is a little piece of it. So here's for our listeners.
And just let you know, we are showing the Manny Pacquiao fight on July 20th. Otherwise, everyone have fun and say hi to your servers, anyone, and yeah, have fun. Thank you.
Hey, he just wanted everyone to have fun.
What?
Oh, and hashtag us on BP Major Mac on Instagram.
Okay. What in the hell was that? So that's my reaction, okay? So
oh my god. I mean, the guy's putting in good work, and I'll give him that.
Yeah, but what are you doing as the fight's about to start? Like,
yeah, maybe he should have been on the pre-show.
And you heard the reaction. Woo! One person reacted. The place was packed. One person, woo! Like, we're like, come on, dude, what the fuck? Okay, that's not all though. Later on, he came back.
Oh.
Later on.
What do you mean, came back on the speakers?
Oh yeah.
How's everybody enjoying the fight so far?
I wish I had it. Oh, how's everybody doing out there? We got some good knockouts tonight. I hope everyone's having a great time. Don't forget to tip your servers. And also don't forget to come back and hashtag BP. And I'm like, I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Was he at least good at his job?
I couldn't see the man.
No, but I mean, like...
Nah, man, nah. This shit was whack, and I've never experienced it. It made me... have a good night though. It gave for some laughs.
Where was it again? What was the BP?
So this is a Boston Pizza in Richmond Hill.
Richmond Hill. So will you be attending Boston Pizza in Richmond Hill for UFC 240?
I don't know about 240.
I just mean like.
But I'll be there again.
Will you be going back?
Yeah, we've watched some legendary fights there, me and the boys, right?
Okay.
So because they got nice TVs and a good setup.
But
I've never
know
had
how
this.
to pick them.
Never had this.
Maybe they're trying to spice things up a bit.
Another spot, I got to bring you there, man. It's amazing. Let's do it maybe in August.
Yeah.
There's a big fight. Daniel Cormier fighting.
Ooh, I'd like to see him. Because it might be close to his last fight, no?
Exactly, man. Could be his last.
Shit. Yeah, I might have to see that.
It's a nice rooftop patio of a Hooters in downtown Toronto. And it's fucking beautiful. You get the TV and you're outside and good food and nice servers. It's great.
Sounds good to me. Hashtag Toronto life.
Hashtag Toronto Hooters.
Oh, it's the Hooters. Okay.
Yeah, so shout out to that guy.
Yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to Boston Pizza. And don't forget to hashtag Boston Pizza. BP.
Oh, man.
Yeah, good stories, man.
Yeah.
I'm happy you saved that, but we'll transition right into this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, little F1 update. I missed doing it last week, bro, and you know why?
Oh, yeah.
The fucking race last week was insane.
Oh, really?
Like, bro, I was sitting on the edge of my seat, like, not just as a quote, I mean literally sitting on the edge of my seat in my living room with my both hands on my face, like, what the fuck is happening?
Really?
It was crazy because, first of all, as you know, and you've been filled in the weeks that we've done the Formula One update, Mercedes has been pretty dominant this year.
Yep.
Well, Mercedes at this track, the aero and the cooling weren't the best, so they didn't get pole. Charles Leclerc got pole from Ferrari, which was cool to see Ferrari up on pole. His second pole of the year, I believe. And yeah, Mercedes was down. I want to say Bottas was in third, and I think Lewis fourth, fifth, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the race itself was Austria. I think I talked about it going into last week. It was the 9 turns, the short, very short track, like a minute, 9-second lap. But Max Verstappen from Red Bull. So this is the RebBull Ring. This is kind of Red Bull's team home track.
Okay.
There's like a bull there, and I don't know why Austria is related with Red Bull, but it's their home race. So, and the track is literally, maybe it's because the track is sponsored by Red Bull and it's called the RebBull Ring.
That makes a lot of I would think.
So last year, he being Max Verstappen, he won kind of unexpectedly with both Mercedes breaking down and then him kind of inheriting the lead. And he's from the Netherlands, and Austria's, I mean, one of the closer countries to the Netherlands. The Netherlands, geez, I can't even speak. And he's got some of, I would say, the biggest fan base in Formula One. So you'll see entire grandstands that are orange, just for him representing the Netherlands colors. So there was huge, like a village there for him and a whole grandstand. So he chased down Charles Leclerc. The Red Bull was on fire, man. Chased him down. This guy had a shit start, so he was in second on the front of the grid when the lights went out, and he had a shit start. And then all, like, I want to say 3-4 guys passed him, so he was down into like 7th on the first lap.
Jeez.
This guy fights his way back throughout the whole fucking race, comes in with 3 laps to go, tries to make up, and these guys are fighting for the lead. It's not like, oh, he's taking 6th place, which sometimes can be fun.
Yeah.
This is first. Like, they're fighting for the lead. He comes in on turn 2, I think it was 2 or 3, and he tried to make a pass on Leclerc. Leclerc had better exit, stayed in front of him. 2 laps to go. They come down on the exact same turn. Verstappen pops his nose in there, gets most of the car in. They go through the corner. They have a bit of a bump. Charles Leclerc's like, what was that? He pushed me off track. And Verstappen's like, hey, I didn't do anything. And his team came to Verstappen and kind of said, like, hey, don't worry about it, mate. That was clean. Keep going. So Verstappen drives on 2 more laps, and he wins the fucking race.
Jeez.
Insane.
That sounds like like something out of a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like one
bro.
of those kind of
It
endings.
was like to have him be right at the beginning of the race when you see he went into anti-stall, so his car stalled at the very beginning, and then like the starts in Formula One are insanely important. Yeah. So he dropped back, and at that point you're like, I don't know if he's going to be able to work his way back. Kind of like me in my Canada Day Cup race that I didn't really get to talk about. Maybe we'll do that later. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was just an incredible race to watch a guy like Max Verstappen, who I've kind of seen grow up too. Like I started watching Formula One really hardcore in 2016, and he was only 17 at the time.
Oh shit!
So he's kind of grown up now in that short amount of time.
Yeah, that's wild.
Excuse me.
That's super young to get in. Is that normal?
It is now. I mean, now you got to be 18, but even still, because they kind of changed the rule because of him coming in at 17 and that being too young.
Okay.
The crazy thing about him, man, is obviously there's other formulas. There's Formula 2, Formula 3, and Formula 4 and Ford, and you work your way up. This guy raced go-karts. He did 1 season in Formula 3, and then he was in Formula 1 the following year.
Oh, nice.
It's like he raced 1 car in between a go-kart and a Formula 1 car.
Yeah, he sounds like
he's nuts.
Young vet almost.
It's crazy because he's 20 whatever, and he's been in Formula 1 already for 4 or 5 years. So I wasn't a huge fan of him, I want to say, last year and a bit of the season before, but it was just because he was so young and doing stupid things on track and being very immature. Whereas now, 7 races into the season, 6 races in, I'm starting to really come around on Max Verstappen. And don't get me wrong, I'm a Mercedes guy through and through, an LH44, like I said, episode 44 at the beginning. But this guy's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton's going to be gone in 3, 4, 5, 6 maximum years.
Yep.
This guy will be racing into potentially my 40s, to my late 30s. So it'll be cool to see him, how he'll do the rest of the year. I don't think he doesn't have a shot with Red Bull at winning a championship or anything this season, but it was cool to see them not only win at their home track, but win back-to-back and make a pass on another guy who's 20 who was leading for the lead. Like I said, making passes with 2 laps to go for the lead. It doesn't happen all the time in Formula One, and people complain about it being, too boring and this and that. It's funny because the race before in France, I talked about with Shane on the episode 43 how boring it was. And I watched that in New York City, and it was kind of like known to be like the most boring race in many years. And then 1 week later, we have one of the most epic races that's happened in the last 5 years.
That's always good, though.
That's usually how it goes down, right? But you got to have a little bit of everything too, just like what we were talking about in the UFC.
For sure.
So yeah, that was pretty much it for that race. The point standings as of now are Hamilton with 197, Bottas with 166, and Verstappen with 126. So having Verstappen, that guy in there up above both Ferraris, it's pretty cool because the Ferraris clearly are the better team than Red Bull, but Max is just being more consistent at the moment. So it's good to see. That race, like I said, Verstappen, Leclerc in second, and Bottas in third. Like I said, probably the race of the year, but moving forward this weekend, I guess, like we always end up doing on the F1 update, it'll be today. If you're listening to the show the day that it dropped, then practice was this morning, qualifying's tomorrow, and the race is Sunday. But if you're listening after, then how was the race? I just wanted to announce McLaren announced their 2 drivers that they've got this year are being re-signed for next year. Lando Norris, again, another guy who's like 18 years old, and Carlos Sainz, who's one of the older guys who's like 26, 27 years
crazy.
old, and he's one of the, more... Lewis and Vettel are old, and they're like 31.
Yeah, that's wild.
So, yeah, it's quite a different sport in that sense, but it's just growing and changing, like a lot of things right now. The British Grand Prix, though, this is kind of a big deal. It's more or less like the home of F1. Obviously, motor racing and Formula One started in the UK way back in the day. And, well, the Formula One Championship started in 1950, but racing obviously goes back way farther than that. There's 3 drivers, Lewis, Lando, the guy that I just talked about, and then George Russell, who, again, another young 18-year-old just come up from Formula 2 this season. A lot of young guys this year. They're all from the UK, so it's nice to have the change because last year Lewis was the only British guy, and that was the first time that there was only one Brit on the grid in years. So it's good to have 2 more back on the grid again. And the reason I say it's the home race is because most of the teams, aside from Ferrari, who's based out of Italy, and Haas, who are based in the US, most of the teams' home bases are in the UK.
Okay.
Even Mercedes, being a German car manufacturer,
Yeah.
the Mercedes Formula One factory is in the UK.
Okay.
So that's kind of why it's kind of a home race for all them. They don't have to fly all their everything halfway across the world. It's a little bit easier for everybody. They also, another big, I guess, little announcement, Silverstone announced 5 more years. This track was up in the air. Nobody knew if they were going to be going there next year.
Oh, really?
Because that's how the tracks work. They sign contracts just like drivers.
Yep.
And the city will sign, okay, 5 more years, we're going to be doing races in this track. And like I said, it's a significant race, significant country. People were worried, is there going to be a British Grand Prix? So that is official, 5 more years going to Silverstone in the UK. I guess we can move pretty much straight on. I wanted to talk a little bit. There's already a lot of people talking about they call it silly season in Formula One. And that's basically kind of halfway to just past the midway point of the season. People really start to talk about, is this guy going to go to that team, or is this guy going to go to that team? Or where are people going to be traded around and stuff? And I don't know. I think it's crazy that it's already started now, but with Sebastian Vettel and the talks that he could retire and him being fed up with Formula One and kind of having enough, that creates a seat opening at Ferrari, which then, creates, a guy coming from another team to Ferrari, which then is an open seat at that team, and it's kind of just a domino effect.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just thought it was cool to bring up for some of our listeners who aren't huge Formula One fans that's something that, the silly season starts now, and it's, it
Is there like a certain deadline?
No, it's kind of just like, no, it's not really a specific date or anything. Yeah. It's just once people start talking about, is Lewis going to go to Ferrari next year, or is Vettel going to retire, or is Ricciardo going to end up at Ferrari? They call it silly season.
Okay.
So it's kind of the start of silly season now, and I'm curious if Sebastian will stay. And I don't know, Lee, one of the guys I listen to on 3 Legs 4 Wheels, and he does his own podcast, A Hot Lap. Check it out if you're interested in Formula One. 2 both great shows. He was mentioning like Ricciardo could jump to Ferrari, even though he just signed a 1-year deal with Renault. This year, $20 million, one-year deal. He could jump over to Ferrari if that seat opens up, because that's obviously somewhere where you want to be one of those top teams. Other than that, next race is Germany. Redemption for Vettel. We'll talk more about it next week, though. Vettel had a pretty bad year last year, that's his home track, and he went into the wall from first place, crashed into the wall, and then Lewis won, which I was okay with because Vettel won the British Grand Prix last year, and then Lewis won the German, so they kind of won each other's. Yep. But it was still devastating to see the guy in his home race who's never won his home race go right into the fucking wall while he's leading. So, we'll see how that does, but thanks for checking out the F1 update. All right, Don, 40 minutes in. Should we talk some wrestling?
Man, we got a lot to go through, I feel like.
There is a lot to go through, that's for sure. I don't know where we should start.
Well,
you go. I'm not holding the doors back here at all.
I had talked to
Doors are open, my friend.
I spoke to you a little bit about it, and I just want to quickly touch on it for some of our listeners. Not something we regularly do, but I had watched Impact Wrestling's, I almost called them TNA, Impact Wrestling's Slammiversary pay-per-view.
Shout out to Canada.
Shout out to Canada.
Was it filmed in Canada?
No, this one was in Dallas, Texas.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. Next one, I think.
Okay, hopefully. Okay. We got to go.
Yeah, one day.
I'll bring my... Maybe.
No. You know my deal.
Yeah.
So it depends where they're filming it for me.
Yes.
Politics. Off-air stuff.
Yeah. Anyway.
It was a good show, man. I got to say that I was thoroughly impressed. And I think I was a little more interested in watching it for the fact of, like, I've honestly been keeping up with Impact. I watched they have a thing much like WWE does on YouTube, and it's top 5 moments of Impact Wrestling this week.
Oh, okay.
For some weird reason, I think it's because I've randomly become a Killer Cross fan.
Yeah.
I've been keeping up with this.
Oh, you watch it every week?
I just watch the top 5 just to see what Cross is up to. I like to follow what he's doing. And the heavyweight scene there, I'm a Brian Cage fan. I have been from when I seen him in Lucha Underground. And Michael Elgin, he's a good guy, man. So
fucking shout out to Michael Elgin. I saw him wrestle way back. 05, 06.
And he's a guy
in the Oshawa Legion Hall.
Local guy, man. You've seen him back there. I bumped into him a couple times back in the
at the gym. I think you told me, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and he was always a good guy. So
shout out to Michael Elgin, that's for sure.
And I like his style of wrestling. A big physical dude.
Yeah.
So him and Brian Cage.
When you getting that interview, Don? Like, we need him on the show.
We're working on it. We got some stuff in the works. But yeah, so it was interesting, man. Going into it, I think I was actually trying to watch it live. I couldn't find like a good stream going.
Yeah.
Apparently, our boy Young Dog, who's MIA in action.
Yeah.
Supposedly he said it was available live, something like he
on
knew
TV?
of a link or something. But I was like, I should have called him or something.
Yeah. Well, no, because he's usually, shout out to Younger, he is usually more kept up with Impact Wrestling than some of the other stuff.
But it was a good show overall, man. So just to quickly run through it.
Yeah, give me a few of the top ones. I don't know.
Yeah, man. Opening the show, it was a little I don't know if I'd call it X Division match. It was a 4-way match anyway. Some guys I haven't seen. One who we know very well, TJP, was in this match.
Oh, that's dope. I didn't know he was with Impact.
He just recently went over there.
Signed or just made an appearance?
Signed.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So it was a 4-way match. Willie Mack, Jake something, Trey Miguel.
Okay.
So I don't know the other guys too well. This Willie Mack dude, I feel like I've heard of him or seen him around.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too familiar with him.
Quick little 10-minute match, but the Trey Miguel guy picked up the win. I thought it was a nice opener to the show. You got guys that are all moving.
Fatal 4-way, you said?
Yeah, relatively faster pace, like TJP, typical, like his kind of cruiserweight style.
Yeah.
After that, there was a nice little tag match, and this was the North, which to me they remind me of the Revival. These guys.
They're the old school kind of thing.
Yeah, they're just their look and their heels, and they're the champs going into it.
Can I ask a random question? Quick, just
totally.
about the X Division title?
Yep.
Do they still do that X match thing?
Yes.
That's still a thing?
Yep.
And that is a stipulation. That's not like every X Division title matches.
It's a stipulation.
Okay. Sorry. I'm not too familiar with it, and I was curious.
No. So it was the North defending their titles against LAX.
I like that name. Did they wear Raptors gear?
No, you'd probably like them though. Like the one guy wears like traditional wrestling headgear, like an Olympic wrestler, and a singlet,
like Kurt Angle style,
and a fucking singlet.
Wow.
And then the other guy just wears the trunks,
like just normal,
just Triple H
or.
But nice matching gear. Like they look like a team.
They look like a team.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So apparently they won these tag belts at like a house show off LAX.
Didn't they their contracts just expired?
Yep. And
like last week or something?
And I think that's why this kind of all went down.
Okay.
I've heard things about WWE being interested in them, which is...
I feel like WWE probably is interested in anybody right now.
Swooping up the game.
Well, not even just that. It's like now they actually, and I know it's not there yet, but now they're actually going to have some kind of competition. So it's like they don't, oh yeah, let them go. Like it's...
True, yeah.
They don't necessarily... And I know they've always been big on scooping people up, but I feel like now is going to be even more so.
Yeah. And I didn't realize, like, the name LAX, like, you've heard of them, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, but they've, like, I think there's been different versions of them throughout the years.
Like,
these
different
guys
members?
Yeah, because these guys I didn't know.
Oh.
Yeah. I knew, like, Conan was the manager, but, like, I knew, like, Hernandez and fucking, I forget, the other guy's name slips my mind.
I never knew that they switched people, so that's, like, I'm finding that out right now for the first time, because I've never been too familiar with them anyway.
Yeah.
But I definitely never knew that they switched their, like, they kept the name, kept the name
and the gimmick, but, like, I feel like the guys have, like, rotated and switched Conan, and yeah, it was, anyway, so they were in this match as well, and then a third team, it was a three-way match, the Rascals, and I don't know, this gimmick I thought was fucking stupid. Like, you know the show, The Rascals, like the kids?
I was going to make a joke about, like, alfalfa.
Oh, yeah, that was the gimmick. Like, they do this. They do this on the top rope, like the little, and to people that can't see me, obviously.
You're putting your hand underneath your chin and wiggling your fingers.
Yeah, it looks really stupid.
But, like, does one of the guys look like alfalfa? And the other one look like fucking the kid with the backwards hat? I like that movie. Shout out the 90s movie, Little Rascals. That's a good fucking movie. I like pickles, hey, 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 hey. No?
Oh, that would be awesome if the one guy did look like alfalfa with the hair.
That's what I was thinking. No? No? Okay. Well, at least it's not that far.
No, but the one dude kind of looked like Leo Rush-ish.
Speaking of Leo Rush, where
yeah.
I don't want to go down that train, but I heard he said some shit and then he's gone now, right?
Poor guy.
Yeah.
I guess, maybe. I don't know. Maybe he's a shit bag.
Well, I told you, I listened to him on, I think it was Lillian, and he was just the struggles, that the normal struggles of, like, being a father and not seeing your kid all the time, and I felt for that kind of shit, not being not that I'm a father, but you know what I mean.
And then you hear the stuff about the bags and him not. So it's like, I don't know.
What's the truth?
You know what I mean? Right. But this match, honestly, I didn't pay super close attention to, and it was quick. I was like kind of running around doing stuff around the house. I ended up watching this on a Monday morning. Actually. Okay.
No spoilers. Like you had not seen anything.
Stayed offline. I was really invested, man. So 7 minutes and 20 seconds, quick one. Where are we next? I think next was My Fucking Boy. That's what it was. Yes, so the next match was Killer Kross versus Eddie Edwards, and this was a first blood match.
Oh, wow. I haven't seen one of those in a while.
Right.
Or even, like, heard the name first blood match. Yeah. It's been a while. Yeah. But that's, I mean, it makes sense with the amount of WWE that I watch.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was good, man. I've been following the build-up to this storyline, and Eddie Edwards, like, he had, like, a kendo stick, which was, like, passed down to him from Sandman, and...
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And Kross is like a
beer can too and a cigarette?
No,
I wish. That'd be dope.
But Kross is like, I've heard he's like a fan of the old ECW, and they did a little thing where he kind of like kidnapped Sandman and like fucked him up. And
oh shit!
He's like, "This your boy," and just wilding out.
Did they bring anybody? Like, was there any Tommy Dreamers or Joey Styles or anything like trippy like that?
No, but there's another feud that they were kind of tied in, actually. Like, they mixed the older ECW cats in with.
That's cool. Like Sabu or who? Like,
yeah.
Oh, he was there?
Well, not there, but I'll talk about it. It's next.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
But, yeah, it's weird. Some of these ECW guys like Sabu and Dreamer, I don't really want to see them, and Sandman even, like, I don't want to see them in matches, but maybe, like, in this form where Kross had, kidnapped him kind of, and a little
it makes sense.
Like that, I'm okay with.
It's part of the story.
But I don't want to see them wrestle.
No, I don't really want to see them.
Because they're up
old.
There.
Yeah.
And they've done so many good things in the past, which we've talked about.
Yeah, some of them were old at 2006 One Night Stand, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, shout out to the LookBack Show. That one's been redropped on iTunes if you want to go listen to the
go get it, baby.
ECW One Night Stand.
So a note about this match, what I just wanted to throw out there was he came out, I showed you a picture of that face paint.
Yeah, it was fucked up.
And he has his hands like this long fucking trench coat and this demonic looking, like a cross on his face. And he was wearing like a...
So different than his normal look of Johnny Sins.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
Jesus Christ. He's a cool dude.
No, I'm not chirping. I just mean he looks like somebody that could work for Brazzers, man. Like, come on. Like, he just looks like that's like his gimmick.
That'd be an interesting gimmick for someone to have. But
Yeah.
that's a whole other
That would
one, right?
certainly be an interest. I'm going to talk about 14A. Might have to.
We're getting there. But yeah, man, good match, aggressive. Eddie Edwards got the win, which kind of sucked for me as a Cross fan. But it made sense in the storyline because Eddie's the baby face, and he's a smaller dude.
Yeah.
Cross is a bigger guy, 6'3", I think.
Yeah, I don't think it's too bad for.
And the hardcore aspect of it made the match still believable to me. Like, there was a lot of selling on
And it's a first blood, so it's not like he got pinned or submitted, too.
That's true, yeah. So kept
Him strong in the
his
sense that there was no, clean win.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it was a finisher and Cross laying down for the.
The one notable spot I wanted to, actually two quick notable
Yeah.
spots of it was one where Cross kind of picked him up like by his armpits, like on the outside, and slammed like his back on the apron, much like how
Kevin
KO
Owens.
does
That's
with
what I
the
was going to say.
powerbomb,
Similar, but even
just
farther down, less shoulders,
just
more.
launching him, like literally just picking him up and launching him. So that was pretty impressive.
Kind of like Buddy jumping off that fucking top rope onto his back at fucking whatever that AEW show was. For what?
Oh, that was
For what?
yeah. That
If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you're listening. I don't know what match was it? It was
the guy who fought Cody.
yeah, okay. Yeah, so the Cody match.
Yeah, yeah.
Either way, go watch that and tell me if that's worth doing. Let's jump off the top rope and land on
Just
the
wasn't
apron on my back for no
Wasn't
reason.
Logical, man. Me and you talked about it off pod.
Yeah, for what?
Yeah. Like,
Shout out Don Tony. For what? What are you doing that for?
yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. Neither were you.
No.
But and then the noticeable was the finish with Eddie Edwards. He snapped that kendo stick in half, and then he took like the jagged part and he busted Cross in the mouth with it, and Cross was like spewing blood, and he's like, oh, but he like
What
jabbed
the
him in the mouth. Yeah, it
fuck?
was pretty cool. It was a good.
You must have loved that.
It was unique as fuck.
Yeah.
Too, right? So I was like, oh, that was awesome. Man.
I
And
feel like
that's-
this is the shit that you're chomping at the bit to see
Yeah,
too.
man, yeah.
Just waiting for the light tube.
The thumbtacks.
Yeah.
Which we got later.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So
I'm starting to think Lego's worse, as much as as crazy as that sounds when I see these motherfuckers land on Lego.
have you ever stepped on a Lego?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel good.
It's not good.
No.
Yeah, I've done it before.
Yeah. Anyway.
So that was 11 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm doing look back fashion right here. Running
Yeah, I know. It's okay.
So then next match, I'll quickly run through this one. I got to say, man, have you ever heard of this guy, Moose? He came from the NFL. Big black dude.
No.
Dude, I'm not going to lie to you.
Maybe then I don't know. I'd have to see a picture. Probably not though.
He had a babyface character, and I've heard of him before, and he was doing this whole Moose. And I thought his name was stupid, and I
Weren't buying it.
wasn't digging it, but, like, I haven't seen this guy since now, and holy fuck, he's come a long way. Like, he's a heel now.
How long ago was that?
That was, I want to say, like, a year or two ago.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like-
So it's come along quick.
Yeah. And I just remember hearing the name, but seeing the guy, and I'm like, I'll pass. And I never, like, took him in. But he was fighting my boy Rob Van Dam, and he's doing this whole legend killer kind of storyline, and that's where it came into play. Like, I think he beat up the Sabus, and there was some 6-man match, and all this shit happened. But Moose has got this heel persona going on where he wants to take out the past kind of deal. He's like, you don't need to be here, and he was wearing like an old school robe, like
Fuck, I wish I had a Kylo Ren fucking
Rick Rude
thing
Flair style, but then like it was different because it was like cheetah and
Okay.
like pink fur. But I like the old school robe, and its entrance music was very like
Ta-da.
that type of
Yeah.
guy. And I was like, this is cool, man. I'm glad that he completely switched his gimmick up and did something that I wouldn't really expect from a guy like that who comes from that background. Cool gear too. He had like, anyway, the match.
Yeah. Sorry. No, I'm.
Not too bad, man. Van Dam, I haven't seen him work like in this part of his career, and I was impressed. Like
Well, we talked about. Sorry to cut you off, but we talked about on the phone this week. I was under the impression that Van Dam had retired due to an eye injury.
Yeah, which that came out like a year or so ago,
yeah,
right?
roughly or so. Yeah.
I remember hearing about him signing with Impact, and I was confused. 'Cause I'm like, what?
Maybe
thought
it's just
he
a creative thing or a talking role. Or
I think something happened where he thought he had to retire, and then
Yeah.
maybe
he probably got a second opinion of some second next doctor, man, and
Yeah.
that doctor was like, "Nah, you're fine."
yeah,
Maybe not quite to that extent, but you know what I mean.
but
Like
yeah,
the doctor said, "No, you can probably if you do this, this, and this beforehand and afterwards, and in between, then you can probably do light matches that include this, this, and this." You know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm
but-
sure he's got parameters. I'm sure he can't go out there and have the matches he was having against Eddie Guerrero in fucking 2002.
Well, he can't. He can't
No.
move
I
to
mean,
that.
no, I don't even literally mean. I just mean, I'm sure it's a limited. You watched the match. I didn't, but I'm sure it's more of a limited moveset.
Yeah, but no, man. No, that's the thing. Like,
Wow.
and that's what I mean. Like, this guy he's still very fucking flexible for whatever age he's at. Yeah, he got the "you still got it" chance. And Don Callis and them, Josh Matthews.
Oh, okay, those are the two commentators.
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
Don
Callis is
great.
incredible.
Matthews has come a long way.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think one of them brought up the point. I don't think he ever lost it. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he's doing the Rolling Thunders and all that.
That's dope.
The famous set.
So was this the main event?
Nope. Sorry.
No, sorry.
But Moose picked up the win, which I like because Van Dam the rub to the younger guy, and it made sense because it was more believable that Moose was going to win, and he was pretty convincingly dominant throughout the match. Next match, wicked. This match stood out to me. One of the matches of the night, the women's match. It was a fatal 4-way Monsters Ball, which is like a fucking Extreme Rules match, basically.
Okay. Like a hardcore, whatever you want to call it. No disqualifications.
Yeah.
No holds barred. Fuck, they got too many names for the same thing.
4-way dance. Remember that? What happened to dance? Like 3-way dance, 4-way dance. I want that to come back. Like call a triple threat a 3-way dance.
Yeah.
I
don't remember that. And
it was a bigger like ECW WCW thing. I feel like.
I think we should just not have a lot of triple threat and fatal 4-way matches.
Not
to
a
be
lot.
Completely
No.
honest.
Yeah,
like
not
I think
a
we
lot.
get too many of them. Like I don't like. And I know we're talking about TNA right now, Impact, but I don't like this week how there's 3 tag teams fighting at Extreme Rules. You know, Big E or New Day, Daniel Bryan, and Heavy Machinery. I don't like how it's like the fact that they were in a triple threat match this week on SmackDown. To me, was like I feel like that's what I would have booked when I was 11 in playing SmackDown versus Raw.
Yeah.
We'll take one guy from each and we'll have a triple threat.
Yeah, that's not.
I don't know.
No. Yeah, I hear you. That is totally like very.
And then all 3 guys got thrown from ringside, and we got Tom Phillips. We're gonna have a reset.
Oh god.
We're gonna go to commercial and reset.
You bet we are.
We're gonna have a triple threat. Oh fuck.
I ain't digging that shit too.
No.
You know what I mean?
But let's stick with our Slammiversary look back. So.
Yeah. So Taya Valkyrie, who was the defending champion.
Which I know that name.
I believe she was the one who's with John Morrison, the girlfriend of John Morrison. I think she's Canadian as well, trained with Lance Storm.
Yeah, I just know the name. I feel like maybe I've seen her on Instagram or something like that. I don't know.
Jessica Havoc, who I've heard the name, but I didn't like recognize her. But I've heard her name on the indie scene before. Rosemary, who I know of, and Sue Young, she has like a trippy. You know what was interesting, man? Other than Taya Valkyrie, the other 3 girls all had a very punky, dark, tattooed or face paint to them.
Oh,
so they looked like they could have like been
in
in
a group
team.
or something.
Yeah, and then Taya Valkyrie's pink and blonde hair. You know what I mean? So it's
very
interesting.
Stand
dynamic.
out. The other 3, you mean like a Paige kind of look to them, or even more?
Ruby Riott.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, more tats and more makeup.
Yeah.
Maybe Paige has quite equal makeup, but yeah, you know what I mean.
But man, these girls went at it. Tables, chairs, fucking thumbtacks. They brought out the thumbtacks. And the one girl, excuse me for not knowing her name, she was the larger girl in the match. I want to say it was Jessica Havoc.
Okay.
So she gave Sue Young a tombstone off the top rope, like onto the thumbtacks.
What?
Yeah. And I was like, this is it. And it was later in the match, and I'm like, this is fucked. Like, this is over. And the Sue Young girl is fucking doing the Devon Dudley, shaking
and jiving on the ground.
And the girl gets the one.
Was there any tacks in the top of her fucking head, like, or then like just covered in the girl's knees? Like, holy.
They both got the brunt of it.
Imagine fucking that up. Imagine fucking that move up. We were just trying to do a tombstone off the top onto the tacks, man. I'm sorry, like. We planned it. We knew it was going to go fine. We had rehearsed. No, I'm sorry. You don't rehearse that. Like, that's fucked.
Yeah, dude. It was one of those holy shit.
I believe
moments.
it.
So then I'm like, fuck, this girl's going to get the belt. 1, 2. And then Taya Valkyrie comes in, pushes her off, steals the win.
Wow.
Classic heel shit.
So she is a heel. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That makes sense.
And she retained her title in a match where you probably wouldn't think she would have.
Not at all, especially after seeing something like that.
Really
Holy
had to.
Fuck. I might have to go back and watch the replay of that.
Yeah, definitely. That was a match, and then the next one might have been one of the matches of the night. Two guys, former WWE guys. We had Rich Swann against Johnny Everything, a.k.a. just Impact for tonight.
Johnny Impact, yeah. Johnny Mundo, Johnny Nitro, John Morrison.
And I got to ask you.
Johnny, am I missing any?
Johnny Honor, Johnny Lucha.
Oh,
Johnny.
Johnny.
I don't know. Like, why not, right? At this fucking point?
You've taken your first step into a larger world.
Oh, that was great. That was great, Johnny Honor. Anyway.
So, on paper to you, I want to ask
How
you.
about Johnny Entertainment?
Johnny Survivor? He was on Survivor, remember?
Yeah, that was.
Right? So,
Oh, shout out to John.
He could be Johnny Podcast one day.
Yeah, that'll
Right?
happen for sure.
So, I'll stop.
Johnny Podcast.
I'll stop.
Start calling you Donnie Podcast.
Yeah.
Fuck, anyway.
On paper, though, to you,
Mhm.
this sounds like a cool match, no? Like, think about their styles.
Yeah, I know that it's not the main event. I was going to say I wouldn't want this as my main event.
Yeah.
I don't think so. It just doesn't have the star power,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately. It's not that I think these guys are shitty wrestlers. I don't think these two names have the drawing power to be a main event on a card. Not that this is the main event.
So, I mean, because I know you you don't watch Impact like regularly,
No.
but how do you like John Morrison? You don't really look at him as he has that WWE stank to him still of
Stank.
of
No, I look at him a lot higher than I look at Rich Swann.
yeah, for sure.
But at the end of the day, it's still not like,
It's not Brian Cage.
or even Killer Cross, because like he's still on the way up.
Yeah.
We haven't seen what the potential is yet.
True.
I feel like we've seen the
Yeah.
best that Morrison. Not that that's bad.
Yeah.
What we have seen, but I feel like we've already seen the best that he can give us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, not that we haven't from Rich Swann, but Rich Swann didn't have the longevity in WWE
Yeah.
to really provide me with the information that I can say,
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And to answer your question more about the X shit, so John Morrison, he basically won that Ultimate X match where you get like a Money in the Bank style, but it's a big
Okay.
X, and you get to cash it in.
Okay,
So
same
this
idea.
he was cashing it in, and it was known that this was where he was cashing it in, challenging Rich Swann for the X Division title.
Okay.
Yeah, so Rich Swann holds that belt currently.
Oh, I'm confused then. I thought the opening match was Fatal 4-Way for
No,
the
I
X
mean-
Division.
I mean, like, no, that match I feel like was an X Division match.
Okay, not
but,
an
like,
X
not for
Division
the
championship
title. Yeah,
match.
exactly.
Got you.
Yeah.
Anyway, that makes way more sense.
Decent match, man. These guys went at it back and forth, and we had
How long? Do you have time?
this one was, I think,
I feel like these guys probably went 15, 20.
yeah, 14,
Okay.
14:55, so like 15, yeah.
Yeah, 15 minutes. Pretty good.
Went at it, man, and Swan
It's awesome.
Swan picked up the victory.
Oh,
retained
yeah?
his title, yeah, which I was a little surprised by too. I honestly thought maybe
Does he still have the little wings on his trunks?
I
I always like that.
I think so. He was still doing the whole like his dance kind of happy.
Oh, okay.
Shit, had the jacket, and the crowd was into him.
I liked him
He
when
got
he
a
was in
good reaction.
WWE, man. I really did.
Yeah, me
I was
too,
always a fan of Rich
Yeah.
Swann. So even as a champion,
Mm-hmm.
he was a good little.
Him and Neville had a couple of good
Yeah.
ones, man. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I'd like to see him back one day. But yeah, shout out to those guys. That was a good match.
For sure.
And then we had Brian Cage defending the world title against Mike Logan, which wasn't the main event because the intergender match was the main event, which was announced early in the show.
Yeah, that's so.
But I get it, man. But like, I don't know. I know they're trying to make history and make waves in the world.
yeah.
But I don't know. I'm old school, maybe in the sense where I want the.
Well, I want the title in the main event. Is it more about the title being there, or not the fact that it's the intergender doesn't bother you? It's just the fact that it's not a championship match.
It's the fact that the Brian Cage Elgin match was the co-main event for the heavyweight title. I
Yeah.
think the heavyweight title
Just reverse it.
should have been, but then the way this match ended, like, I was okay with it. Actually, I was okay with it. It was
Okay,
fine.
yeah. I don't know. How did?
Basically,
Because I didn't see any of this stuff, so this is all.
So basically, Brian Cage, Mike Logan was kind of getting control of the match. Like, he was controlling a lot of the matchup. Brian Cage had a couple of moments of shine there, and it was kind of like I want to say reminiscent to the way Owen beat Brad at Mania 10, like that quick pin,
Okay, the roll up kind of thing.
but not in
Not
the corner.
roll up, but I know. What you
But it
mean.
was like a yeah, like I think Elgin might have did a power bomb or attempted it, and Cage then got like for the
Yeah.
sit down quick pin.
like Owen. I know what you mean.
Elgin's like, "Wow, what the fuck?" And pissed, attacks him.
So that's why you're saying you're happy that didn't close the show.
Yeah. And then Elgin went for Don Callis, and he brings him in the ring, and he was going to fucking powerbomb him. He's all
Shit.
anti-authority now. And
Do you think this is not done?
Yeah, it's definitely not done.
So then that's fine. And
that's why
I
it was
think
okay.
maybe not
Yeah.
in the main event as well, right? With the finish that they chose.
And
So
then a hooded figure came as he was about to powerbomb Don Callis. A hooded figure in the corner with massive thighs in a stance of a gore, and he hit the gore. And I believe it was Rhino. It was not confirmed, but I've heard rumors that he's signed there.
really,
So
yeah, you said that to me on the phone too. I need to see it. I'm not buying it yet.
Okay, I'll put it to you this way: it was definitely Rhino. Yeah.
You're pretty sure?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they didn't say. What did they say? What did the commentary say?
Josh Matthews was freaking out, and I didn't like this. I thought Josh Matthews shouldn't have even been talking because, like, your commentary partner. I know you're not going to go in there and try and stop it, but I feel like Josh Matthews got shoved too, and he shouldn't just be there. What are you doing? Stop! Oh my God! Like, I don't think there should have been any commentary.
Yeah.
At this point.
He should have been too scared.
Yeah.
Like Matthews in the story
Exactly.
should be too scared to do commentary because he thinks now he's next
Yeah.
if he starts talking
Exactly.
about how bad this guy is.
Exactly.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, man. So that part I didn't like, but attention to detail shit.
And that was pretty much it. Rhino
was
with the
that.
gore and
Yeah.
on to the main event.
Yeah, man. The main event we had Sami Callihan. Have you heard his name before? 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
he was former
Younger.
He was in NXT for a little bit, and then
I don't know him
but
from.
he-
I
don't
only
think-
know the name because of Younger, not
Okay,
because
okay.
of watching WWE.
I don't think he was ever on TV, but I know he was in the WWE system for a bit.
Okay.
So he was taking on Tessa Blanchard in this intergender match, and this feud is developed to this big fucking thing.
Yeah, I seen light things on Instagram of her showing up. I think at I don't know if it was Impact tapings or I don't know, but it was. I seen them developing this story.
Yeah.
How did you feel about intergender being the main event, and how did you feel about the two of them executing it?
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I had a lot. Like, I was sitting there at this point watching the pay-per-view all morning, and I had things I was doing, and I was not 100% invested enough
In this match?
in this match.
Oh, really?
And I know it was the main event, and it sounds bad to say maybe as a fan, but I wasn't fully tuned in.
After the what we had just talked about, you
Ye-
kind of
I kind of
got up and poured a bowl of cereal or whatever
Yeah.
the case may be.
Yeah, so I was kind of checked out. Like, I was there, but I wasn't, and I was gonna go back and watch some highlights, which I did, and the match looked good.
Oh, so you didn't
For
see
all-
it start to finish?
No, I mean I did, but I was
Oh.
doing other things at the same time. Just
Gotcha.
kind of had it on. But in the end, Sami Callihan picked up the win. So
Oh,
He-
I really thought Tessa.
Tessa won.
Yeah, my
I
bad.
thought she might have too, but no,
Oh,
Sam
shit.
he picked up the win, and I mean I don't know if the storyline's done, but they made some history, and I've heard a lot of good things about the match. I'm probably
I'm
gonna go back and watch
yeah.
it in its entirety.
I'm
and
shocked
actually
she lost. I didn't know that.
give it a chance.
I really didn't know that, and I really wouldn't have guessed that,
Yeah.
that she would have been the one that lost that match.
Yeah, but I mean, Callahan's not like and no discredit on him, but he's not a Drake Maverick. Like, he's a pretty big dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and not to knock her either. Like, she's a pretty well set girl herself.
Oh, fuck. Well, yeah, she's not big, but I know she's
tall and
tough.
tough, yeah.
Strong.
So, I mean, it worked.
Like a Beth Phoenix.
Yeah,
Maybe not even that much.
maybe
but yeah,
like a Charlotte.
yeah,
you know?
okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, it worked. In
Charlotte's
that
so
sense.
much bigger than she used to be, bro. It's crazy. You go back and watch Charlotte in 2014 in NXT fighting Natalya, and she's a fucking rake compared to what she is now. It's crazy.
Enhancements, buddy.
Shut up. You want some? I don't know.
Some tips.
Yeah, some tips.
No.
Don's the one for the subs.
No, but
Anyway,
I enjoyed it for what it was. I'll probably go back and check it out. Overall, pay-per-view solid, and I will probably continue to keep in the Impact world and watch their little top fives, and probably watch the next pay-per-view, man. Yeah, it's good shit.
so another review coming on the Pro Wrestling
and I
LookBack.
want to watch it with you.
podcast
Like, I want
roundtable.
to show you. I want to get you into the.
Yeah,
I feel like you'd like it.
I feel like it would be easier for me to get into MLW, but I'm still willing to try. That's for sure.
I think
Yeah.
there's definitely a lot of guys and girls that you'd like in this company.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, and I like the fact that they went there and they tried something different with, an intergender main event.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's pretty cool. Can't complain about that.
Breaking grounds.
Do you want to keep going here, Don? How do you
Hello,
want
hello.
to... Lord Alfred Hayes.
Oh fuck! Shout out.
I don't even know. Do you want to keep going or
Yeah, I mean, we can touch on the
Paul Hayman?
little bits of stuff,
Yeah, I'm curious about your opinion of this Paul Hayman, Eric Bischoff news, because I talked about it with Shane 2 weeks ago, and I don't know. I haven't really been able to talk to you much about it. So I know this episode's been 75% you, but I want to hear more from you.
Okay.
I'm just curious of your, what you think.
I don't
about
think
this.
we've even talked about it just on the phone.
Not really, no. And we do a lot of pro wrestling talk on the phone that isn't recorded, but yeah. So what do you think? Like, was this? First of all, I mean, we've seen some of it now, but like, how much do you think Hayman and Bischoff are going to have going forward, and how much do you think Hayman has already had now in the 2 weeks that we've seen?
Well, the last week's Raw, not the one that we watched together but the week before, 2 weeks ago, I guess.
Yeah.
We all could definitely see the Hayman influence.
The Maria Mike Kanellis, the
Lashley thing.
going through the Lashley and Strowman going through the screen.
I feel like even to a certain degree, I don't know how long the WWE has been planning the whole AJ stuff, but I feel like even to a certain degree that was very Hayman influenced.
The turn?
Just everything about the way the show closed out with that and the style of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
The whole, not necessarily just the turn, but the whole piece of that story, how he turned, and then to close out the show with him and the boys, and the moment with the Too Sweet.
Yeah, I mean we've heard that Eric Bischoff hasn't been involved yet, right? That's coming in the next couple weeks.
I think it's next. I think it's going to be after Extreme Rules, the following SmackDown.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's kind of cool. That's interesting. It makes you wonder if things at Extreme Rules and how it's going to tie into that. Maybe.
Yeah, the part that's so weird is because the social media aspect of them announcing these two as Raw and SmackDown, and then I don't mind it. It's just very not WWE to do something like that and then not acknowledge it on your television show.
Yeah.
Because Hayman is still playing the Brock Lesnar advocate character.
Yep.
Everything that we know of that's Hayman, I mean, us, we're not fucking backstage, but from what we've heard from other shows and shit, he's just backstage helping out with creative right now and not doing anything like that as far as an on-air character.
Yeah.
But do you think it'll stay that way, or do you think going forward we're going to have Hayman as on-air Raw guy, or I wish I had Bischoff's music to play a little clip of, but Bischoff coming out on SmackDown being the executive director, as they stated.
I think due to his relationship with Brock and having Brock be involved in things
the story,
currently, I don't think they'll go that way.
Good.
Not unless Brock's not around. Then maybe I could see it happening. Not even to say that, that's why.
It depends what happens with that briefcase, brother.
But it's a lot more with Brock, man. You know what I mean?
No, it's true. And I agree, because I don't think that would be a good idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see that.
Because it's in the storyline character, he's Brock's advocate. Now, why did you let Brock's advocate run the show?
Yeah.
Like, from a storyline perspective, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it'd be weird. And they wouldn't, it's not something they would touch on, like, he's with Brock and he's running the show and we set that up.
Yeah.
We want Brock on top, actually. Like, unless they did it in that light, but that's hard to explain. I don't want to really see it.
No. Sorry.
Well, it's one thing I said to a couple of wrestling other friends I have too.
Yeah.
And I said that, man, the way the product is not, like, I know it hasn't been the greatest as of late, and even when this was announced, like, I was excited, yes, but I wasn't like shooting my load like everybody on the internet, like, because I said right off the bat, I'm like, man, okay, I know it's gonna help, but this wound is deep, and this is not one that you just put a Band-Aid and it's gonna fix it.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to
you need
be
the polysporin
over time. This is gonna take time. And everyone's like, fucking NWO next week, Bullet Club. And, bro, I think John Cena's coming back and he's going to turn here. Like, no, relax. Okay?
Yeah, all we want is, that's the key word, time. And we want, what I got written down here, man, because this is something I wanted to talk to you about this week, continuing storylines. This week's Raw might not have been the best Raw with the whole fucked up janitor and Cedric, and I didn't even book the fact that the janitor was like 6'2" and Cedric's like fucking 5'8". I had to listen to some shows to catch on that, but yeah, I don't know. It's
and I think they're taking the right steps for sure, but it's gonna take time. It's gonna take time, and I'm willing to give it that chance, obviously, because I wasn't tuned out, and even now to this point, like, I'm not necessarily gonna be watching every single week, every single hour.
No,
you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and I feel like, I don't know. I do watch all, I want to say, because I don't watch all this other stuff. Do you know what I mean? That's why I watch almost every week, almost every hour, but that's because I'm not soaking in the MLW and the AEW and the Impact and the ROH and the NJPW and the every other multiple amounts of companies that there is. I really don't think people that don't consume pro wrestling understand how much pro wrestling there really is.
Oh yeah, and that's what I
it's
mean.
kind of crazy.
Like that's why when people like, and not to shit on him, and Jag, if you're listening, I told you this yourself. I was like he tells me, I don't really watch anymore, and I'm like, dude, well, if you like wrestling, it's a great time as a fan because there's so many other options out there. Like if you don't watch, just don't watch that shit. But there's other stuff.
I agree, and that's what I mean. I just said it, but I don't know if I want to go back on it and vouch for Jag a little bit. Like maybe he likes WWE or WWF more than professional wrestling.
Yeah.
And maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm in that category too. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah.
But I think it's awesome how many different types of pro wrestling there is. And like back to my point about continuing storylines, I think that's, you know what I mean, that's what we want to see. And that's the shit that's, like you said, is going to take some time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And with, you know, Seth and Becky, as much as that whole storyline's fucking horrible, it's cool to see them fighting different couples every week because it's like, oh, okay, that's another couple. That makes sense.
Yeah.
This relates to what they did last week.
Yep.
It's not just, well, we're here. It's 2 p.m. Let's write the show.
Saddle up.
Let's write the show. What are we thinking for tonight? Like they're actually thinking about what happened the week before. And when you watch a show on Netflix and you watch a show on TV or you watch other types of TV shows, they all fucking relate. Unless you're watching something like a
Black Mirror?
No, I was going to say like a CSI or like some early episodes of X-Files where it was, not to go too far back, but where it was, you know, Monster of the Week, or it was, you didn't need to see every episode to get the gist of what was going on.
Yeah.
I kind of need to see most of the wrestling to understand it. Mm-hmm. I know they have to gear towards, you know, casual fans and people who are flipping. Yeah. But I want my time that I invest in watching wrestling 5 hours a week, 6, 7, however more it turns out to be. I want that to be, I want somebody to value the amount of time that I spend watching your product.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
That's what it comes down to for me, I think, is valued for my time. Show me that you care that I spend 5 hours on Monday and Tuesday and watch your entire show. Yeah. Like, give me a reason and for feeling good for doing that. I mean, and I don't get me wrong, I know they have to play and ride that line very fine because you've got people who are watching the show on Hulu. Yeah. And there's parts of the show that are chopped off, and I think it's, an hour and a half? Yeah. Something like that on Hulu. So
maybe.
It might be 2 hours. I don't know. But either way, the Hulu version of Raw is shorter. It's chopped down. There's less segments. See,
I didn't really know about that.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so that's a thing that's been going on for, I want to say, since 2014, 15.
Yeah.
If you watch Raw on Hulu, it's like a shortened version. It's like the best of, it'd be perfect for you. It's like the best of Raw, and it's only like an hour and a half.
Interesting.
Rather than 3 hours.
Well, see, I heard you you brought it up on the episode with Shane about the YouTube stuff and how I kind of...
Yes, I was curious of Shane's opinion because I know you watch so much of it.
So, just randomly to touch on it a bit, but there's channels like that, and they kind of mesh it all into like 20 minutes. Like
that's pretty dope.
Sometimes I'll go to the actual WWE exclusive page
channel, where it's all individual videos.
If there's a Bray Wyatt segment, I want to see or whatever.
Which, speaking of that, I don't think he was on the show this week.
He hasn't been the past couple weeks. I believe, right? Yeah.
But I seen a T-shirt. Like, what the fuck? He's got merch, but he's not on TV.
Well,
it's weird.
The
T-shirt's cool though. It looks like cartoon Bray Wyatt. It's pretty cool.
I think I read something about him. He debuted some odd years ago on this date, which would bring us to the Raw or SmackDown after Extreme Rules. That anniversary date is coming up, so we're wondering if now, because we haven't seen them, maybe if we will get a re-debut kind of thing. I told you, I want Firefly Funhouse live in Toronto.
Well, that would be cool too. I just mean live, like in the ring. You know, we're all glad that you're all here, whatever the fucking song is, and I want him in the middle of the ring, hey guys, and him do the whole spiel in the ring or at the top of the stage. And then it'd be like, I don't know, it'd be cool, it'd be different.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see where that ends up, because it's been...
At this point, I think I'm almost cool with him wrestling in the red sweater.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, I want the Fiend.
What if it's like the Demon?
Yeah, I'm okay, but...
what if it's like the Demon? What if he's happy-go-lucky Bray Wyatt, and then when you fuck around... That mask is so freaky, dude.
I know.
Like, it's genuinely freaky, and I'm fucking a 26-year-old man. And that's, like it's spooky. It's not just like, that's funny or that's kooky or that's Kane's mask. Like it's genuinely freaky.
Yeah. I don't know if it was like the demon. Maybe, but like,
would you want that?
It's hard to say because he's so like bipolar
right now
that like I don't know if I could see him being able to
turn it on.
How do you maintain that version of him long enough? Like, is it a good guy or is he still like, is he a bad guy or is he just a guy who like you don't really know if he where he's
like, is he a good guy when he's the red sweater and then does he turn heel when he becomes? Yeah, I see.
Like, I don't know.
It would be fishy.
Yeah. One thing I do have to say about the current stuff that's going on that might keep me tuning in every week or at least checking up on these guys. I love the AJ turn and I love that the guys are with him, but I'm not going to lie to you. And I don't want to sound like that guy, man. I've said it to you a lot, but I need Finn injected into this ASAP. Not
You were the chosen one!
Who?
I'm using it for Finn now, too. He's the chosen one for the group.
Oh, fuck.
He is the chosen one for the Bullet Club.
I don't even... Sorry, I shouldn't have said ASAP, but if they kind of do it over time, that'd be even better. Even better. If they're trying to wheel him in, he's like, come, not really, guys. I don't really want to. And you know what I mean?
Dude, imagine he pulls those boys out to fuck up Shinsuke.
That's what I'm saying.
Imagine that.
Yo, because he just got fucked up. You told me. I didn't see it.
Oh, yeah. Shinsuke, like...
Kabop.
Well, Shinsuke was beating him up outside the ring.
Yeah.
And then, like, you know how you turn away, you walk away like it's about to be 10, and then he rolls in? And it wasn't just like he rolls in and then now Finn's going to get his offense. It's like he rolls in and Shinsuke throws him back outside the ring, smacks his head off the fucking stairs, waits another 10 seconds. Finn gets in the ring and Shinsuke looks back at him like, oh, you will not go down kind of thing, and runs at the ropes like the Roman Reigns, bounces off the ropes and runs at him. Kinshasa, 1, 2, 3. And I was sitting there like, holy fuck. Finn just got decimated. But I was happy because I'm a huge fucking Shinsuke fan, and I was talking about this, 2 weeks ago? I don't know. 3 weeks?
Recently.
Recently we were talking about Shinsuke, and I don't know, but that would be crazy if we got, because Shinsuke's kind of, I guess he's a heel right now. I don't know what the fuck he is, but he said no more tag teams, and because Finn's a babyface, so I guess Shinsuke would have to be a heel, but we could do the double turn, man. Let's beat the fuck out of Shinsuke.
There you go. Yeah.
Finn beats the shit out of him, and then the boys come out and help him, and then we get all 4 boys too. Sweet.
And you get good old Shinsuke back.
Yeah.
Eh?
I get happy babyface like Shinsuke. We don't have to deal with that stupid fucking... That part, well, I don't hate that part. It's more the beginning. I'm over that. The whole guitar getting put into the, like, amp getting put into the guitar. And
you want to sing.
Yeah, man. I miss that shit.
You want to sing.
I fucking miss that shit. And I can almost guarantee you, if we get the Good Brothers, Finn and AJ all standing at the end of a SmackDown with their arms in the air, too sweeting, I'll have Younger sitting beside me on that week of the round table. He will be here using this mic to my right, sitting in this chair.
Yeah, man.
So if you're listening, Younger, if that happens, we want you here.
Yeah, man.
Fuck, Mike might even show up if that happens.
Bring out the whole crew.
Mike might come down from the heavens and...
Mike Balor.
Yeah. Mike Balor. That would be cool, though. And if that does happen, I will be making a few phone calls to the boys because we might have to get everyone together to talk about that. But
get the gang. But yeah, man, like, because to me personally, I know it was a while ago, but I still have that stain of, I seen these guys already. I seen the club and AJ just do their thing and beat up John Cena.
Yeah,
like, I remember that.
Yeah, same.
I know it was a few years ago now, but I still remember it clear enough that, like, I want another piece added to this. So just a heel AJ, fucking awesome. Those guys don't do it for me as much.
What
Dallas
about
and Anderson?
Sorry.
So with Finn injected in it, I'm all fucking in.
And they've both been with him, or they've been with each of the two of them separately. No,
it writes it fucking self. Like if they don't do this, man, I'll be fucking pissed. And I need
it. Literally writes itself.
You got it. Just do it, man. Pull the trigger. What were you gonna ask me?
I can't even remember, but I'm excited to see
where it goes. Yeah.
Well, not only just where it goes,
like
what the fuck they're gonna do, because like you said, man, it writes itself.
Yeah.
Like it's a given.
Yeah. And you could build it into so many other things.
Yeah.
Down the line.
No, I was gonna ask you. I don't know if this is what I was gonna ask before, but I'm curious. How about the fucking commercials, man?
Oh fuck.
I feel like they listen to the show.
They might.
If there's any WWE writers out there and out of our small listenership that listen to this show, first of all, thank you. Second of all, I know I said I didn't want commercials, but like,
you worked for a long time.
I was, man. I was on this case about the commercials in WWE. So I'm sitting here thinking, like, what the fuck, man? What made them decide?
Hey, well, you know
I think it's Fox. I think it's all going towards this Fox stuff. That everything's changing, and it's all going to change.
No, man.
Green SmackDown, buddy.
I think what happened is, Vince, you're in charge now.
Who?
You.
Heyman?
You. No, you're in charge.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Me. You think Vince is the one listening?
You, the fans, are in charge. Oh. So you wanted this, Nick, and now you got it. That's it. No, I'm just.
I got to be honest, though. And it's the first time I've said it tonight, which is odd for me. But my boy Wade isn't. I don't agree with him here because if I have to pick between what we used to have and this, I'll still take this.
You take this
over getting commercials in the middle of matches.
Yeah,
constantly and having a headlock. And I hated that shit. I couldn't watch a match on TV because I couldn't get into it. I would get into it, and then they would suck me out, and then I'd get pulled back in, and I'd be like, it's hard for me to just jump in, like. From coming back from a commercial and just seeing a headlock, I as much as the reset, we're gonna reset.
Yeah.
For the best of 3 falls.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. Doesn't that fucking get to you, man? Like we're seeing 2 out of 3 falls now.
Every third match, yeah. I'm not a big fan. There's a way to do it. I don't know if they've quite found it yet, but I like that they're trying.
Yeah. Because
I hated what it was before, man. It was so contrived. You couldn't show somebody who doesn't watch professional wrestling one of those old matches because they'd be like, oh, well, what if he gets pinned during the commercial? What do you say to him? Oh, well, it doesn't happen.
Well, you say.
How are you supposed to get somebody to buy into that?
I would fuck with them. I'd be like, hey, well, they'll probably say on the replay, man. That could happen. Stay tuned. That's what I would say. But that's
fair
just
enough.
Me, like,
no. But I mean, eventually, if that person keeps watching, they're gonna know that isn't gonna happen. And you being a big UFC fan, you would never have, We'll be right back. He's got him in a knee bar, but we'll be right back.
True. That was a good point.
Tito Ortiz is backing up El Patron into the corner. How about that? Should we move into that? Fuck. Shout out to Jag for sending us the info in the PW Lookback group, but what
about the stash on El Patron in that pic, eh?
And his hair? You think he's trying to impress Paige or something? What the fuck is this?
Okay, wait. Before we jump the gun too hard, and I'm not going to be the one, but just devil's advocate Don. I know he has a back. No. I know he's fought amateur.
Okay.
Like he has a back.
Sorry, I was giving Don the old eyes there.
He has fought amateur before even coming into WWE. I know he's done some little thing.
Yep.
I don't know where or how much.
And we don't know, man. Like you never know.
But this is what I said to Young on the phone. I talked to him and I said, dude, why Tito Ortiz?
Yeah.
I understand if you want to jump in MMA and try something, go ahead, man. I'm all for you doing whatever you want.
But Tito Ortiz, are they in the same weight class? First of all.
You're fighting Tito Ortiz? Like, what the fuck?
How bad did Tito fuck up Chuck?
Pretty bad. Very bad.
How well do you think El Patron would do against Chuck?
I have to see El Patron. I'm
just thinking, if this guy can fuck up Chuck Liddell, and I know Chuck Liddell's old.
Chuck's banged up, though,
but
now.
It's still Chuck Liddell. I get it, but it's still, he has the mind of Chuck Liddell. He might not have the body.
He doesn't have the speed, half the speed.
I feel like the fighting is a lot in your mind, though. There's a lot of people. You could be the toughest guy in the world, but if you fight a guy who knows how to fight, who's half the strength of you, I feel like the guy who knows how to fight is going to win most of the time. I'm in a street fight, I'm talking. But either way, I'm with you. Why Tito? How much money? I think Tito's putting it,
I'm just, I don't know.
There's got to be a lot of money in it.
I guess, yeah, right? Because I remember Tito saying, I remember the buildup of the whole Chuck thing, and I listened to him on shows talking about, no, man, I'm done. This is definitely my last one.
Mm-hmm.
And I have other ventures and gyms that I own and things that I want to do.
And that's going to be your last fight?
Patron?
Alberto El Patron. Really, you could have ended your career beating, Chuck Liddell.
Your rival, yeah.
The biggest, this is the rival, fucking Stone Cold and The Rock of the UFC.
Yeah.
I don't know.
El Patron.
El Patron is right.
I'll watch.
When is it?
I don't know. I don't have all the info yet. Listeners, stay tuned because we'll keep you updated in the coming weeks of
Yeah, we'll definitely keep you updated on the El Patron situation, the Tito Ortiz situation. Do you want to do any preview for Extreme Rules, or maybe just like straight predictions, like just a winner, like each of us? You name the match, give me a winner, I'll give you a winner. We can keep going.
Okay.
Rather than us breaking everything down, we'll worry about that next week on the round table, and we'll break down. We'll do an Extreme Rules look back the way we did the Slammiversary one this week.
Are we gonna be watching that together, or you got? I know you got a lot going on too.
Yeah, I'm going to the Toronto Indy that day, and then there's also the British Grand Prix that I was talking about the same day. So I don't know. Maybe I'll call in sick Monday and stay up all night Sunday. I don't know yet.
Okay.
But either way, I think like if you're coming over and we can watch the pay-per-view, like I can always record the race. The race is going to be recorded. I can watch that later. I'm going to know the results of the race no matter what. Whereas the pay-per-view, I won't know. So, but the thing is, I'm going to be getting home around 6:37, maybe even 8. So we might miss the first hour, but if I coordinate with you when you can arrive here around the same time as me, if you're willing to do that, I'm totally down.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
It's the last one before the old TO, baby.
SummerSlam, yeah. Let me know about them damn tickets, bro.
Yeah, you got a ticket.
I know. Well, I know.
I might be outside panhandling, man. So you know what I mean? You might see me. I might be the janitor.
Yeah, I'm up there hanging out with the Raptors championship banner. So
I might ask
Which
you
isn't
hot
even
or
there
not
yet.
though. In this list of matches for the Extreme Rules, I might
hot
ask
or
you,
not in the sense of like, am I excited?
Yeah, or like.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna
Give me hot or not, and I'll give you a winner.
Okay. So we have the Cruiserweight Championship match. Drew Gulak defending the title against Tony Abs Knees.
I'm gonna say not.
Not
and I'm gonna say Drew Gulak retains.
Yeah.
Same with you.
Yeah. I mean, I like. Yeah. I'm
indifferent.
I'm indifferent. I'm gonna say Gulak. I'm indifferent about the opinion. We have the.
I know how long this can get, so let's just try and stick to straight.
I didn't even know this. The Raw Tag Team Championships, the Revival versus the Usos. Okay, where did that come from? I did not know. I don't even know this was.
I didn't know that was happening either. So there you go. I'm gonna go with the Revival, and I'm gonna say hot because it's the Revivals and the Uso.
I hope so.
It should be hot. Given the amount of time, if this was the co-main event of an NXT TakeOver card, get the fuck out of here. This would be maybe match of the year.
NXT, yeah, I hear you. That'd be crazy.
Imagine that. Those two?
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Revival retaining. I believe they have the titles. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they do.
And I'm going to say, I hope it's good, but I'm going to say not because, dude, I'm sick of the Usos, man. I need a fucking change. Like, I need a change.
Like a gimmick change?
Yeah, I'm over this shit. I am.
Really?
I don't fuck with it anymore. Like, I'm just not down. I'm not.
Not down.
Oh, we know what my... Wait.
Down since day one. Down. That's just...
Woo, right over my head.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
Aleister Black. And we got a knock at the door, and it is...
Oh, yeah.
00...
Don, if this one's early on the card, then forget Don coming over, because if he's going to miss this one, then I don't think he's going to bother with the show.
Yeah, I'll be locked in for this one.
I'm gonna go with Aleister. I don't really want him to win, as bad as that sounds, because I don't want Cesaro to lose right now. But if I had to pick who I think is gonna win, I'm thinking Aleister, and it's gonna be hot. This match is gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Not to harp on it too much, but do you find it a little weird that wasn't Cesaro kind of playing a heel role these past few weeks, and now all of a sudden he's answering the call of what seems to be a heel Aleister Black?
See, I've been interpreting Aleister Black as a babyface.
Really?
Yeah. I have. I was under the impression that he was a babyface.
I didn't know that you thought.
Just because he's just been asking for a fair fight. He hasn't been saying he's better than anyone or really putting down anyone. He's just been saying, come to my door. I'm here. I'm waiting. You know? I feel like it's more of a two tough guys going to go in there and see who's the better man.
You bring up a great point, though. I never really looked at it like that. So, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Hot.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good for sure. I actually hope it isn't too early.
Fucking now I don't know who's the good and who's. I don't know.
If you would have asked me and you didn't say anything, I would have told you Cesaro was the heel and Aleister was a babyface.
I'm gonna go with Aleister as well. United States Championship match: Ricochet versus AJ.
Hot, obviously, unless there's some shenanigans in there with the club. But I think Ricochet again. As bad as that sounds, maybe for AJ to lose again. I don't see Ricochet losing that title. Yeah. Plus, as much as I love AJ with the U.S. title, the picture's not on the wall anymore. But I don't know. I want to see Ricochet hold that for a little while. I want the titles, like the IC and the US.
Yep.
If fucking Ricochet and Finn had those both for 6 months, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. And at the same time, intriguing feuds and storylines
Yeah.
with those belts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if that's Shinsuke not winning the IC, as long as that leads to him getting another fucking shot at Kofi or something. If we're giving fucking Samoa Joe shots, why isn't Shinsuke getting shots? Or maybe if Finn loses, then Finn will get a shot.
Yeah.
That's usually how it works, right? Anyway.
Yeah, right? Seriously, there's no system.
This is what we're hoping for going forward, right? Like we said.
Rankings and shit. Not really, but
well,
like
that, but I
system.
just mean stuff mattering.
Yeah.
The weeks prior having some meaning going forward.
I'm going to say hot for sure.
Obviously, yeah.
But I'm going to go with AJ, dude. I think AJ, now that he's heel, I think he's going to pull out his crazy arsenal of moves and then some. So I'm going to go with AJ. SmackDown Tag Team Triple Threat match.
Yeah, let's have a triple threat on SmackDown. We'll take one guy from each match and put him in a triple threat.
My guy D-Bry and Rowan against the New Day, who I'm also not too hot on right now. And,
Yeah.
Heavy Machinery, who I like.
I like Heavy Machinery
I like
quite a
these guys,
bit.
yeah.
I would like to see these guys get a title run.
Mhm.
Do I think it's going to happen? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say the New Day, honestly. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the New Day, and then Kofi, we'll get to it later, but I'm thinking the New Day might all hold some gold at the same time for a little bit, whether it's 1 or 2 weeks.
Are you giving me a Batista up or a Batista down?
I think I'm giving you a down, though, and it's just because of my excitement level.
Yeah.
It's not too off. But, hey, maybe they'll shock me, and because my bar is so low that, sometimes that's how it works.
Get at the bar.
Yeah. Get the bar out. Shout out to the bar. Where's Sheamus?
Making wicked awesome workout videos.
There you go.
That channel's sick.
What's his channel? Shout it out.
Celtic Warrior Workouts, I believe. Yeah.
There you go. YouTube.com/Celtic Warrior Workouts.
Yeah, man.
And while you're there, at PW Lookback
Yep.
for all of our past episodes
And look back.
and future episodes.
Future
but
ones, too.
all the past ones are there.
I'm gonna say not, dude. And I don't know how to feel about this pay-per-view overall if they'll pull a trigger. I think D. Bryan thing are just
Retain,
gonna retain. Yeah.
That's probably the safe
Yeah.
bet. I just wanted to be a little bit,
SmackDown Women's Championship match: Bayley versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
careful. Your excitement and enthusiasm while announcing that match
Sorry, man.
kind of blew me. Like I'm a little like I'm shaking a little bit right now. So just try and tone it down
Sorry, dude.
next time, please.
Can't you tell them how excited I am?
Yeah, Bayley in a handicap match. Who's winning this one, Don? Hot or not?
Not.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with not, and I'm gonna go with a Bayley. Even though I'd like to see Alexa win or Nikki, I would love to see Nikki win, but it's not gonna happen, in my
Nikki.
opinion.
Yeah. I'm not gonna ramble as I do, but I'm gonna go with Bayley, and I'm gonna go with Bayley because I think that maybe finally we're gonna get feuds with women that aren't for the title and maybe about other things, and maybe Bliss and Nikki can take it in that direction.
That would be amazing.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm hoping for.
I would
and
love
then
that.
I heard in fucking breaking news, I just heard this, that supposedly your girl hit the drop of Boss.
It's boss time!
I heard something leaked about her confirmed for a fucking TV taping, something coming up at the end of July.
Oh yeah, she's not going anywhere. All these rumors about her.
But supposedly that's in the near future.
Yeah.
Her and Bayley match Deuce in Toronto for the title.
Get the fuck out of here.
We get that shit live.
Get
at
the
SummerSlam.
fuck
That's what
outta
I'm saying.
here.
That's what I'm calling. So I'm saying Bayley for this.
Okay, I'm putting my bar real low. I don't want to get disappointed now.
Yeah.
I'm putting the bars low. It's down on the floor.
And dude, let's be honest. I know she hasn't done a lot, but this title reign, it's been a little lackluster.
Oh, it
thus far,
definitely has. They should have kept it on Becky.
Yeah.
They don't know what they want with brand splits right now. So I guess they got the whole Becky and didn't want to make Seth feel bad. Didn't want to have
the woman.
Well, I didn't want she's got 2 belts. He's got 1.
She.
Yeah, that's why we don't.
Man and the man.
Oh fucking Jesus, Murphy Donovan. The man's man.
The last man standing match, Braun.
I forgot about this.
Bobby.
Completely.
Yeah, man. This is a big one.
It's almost like they should have been selling the injuries that they had when they went through the fucking 50 gazillion Canada Day explosions that went off backstage in the middle of that. I don't know. I'm excited because I like Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
And I like just seeing him do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still in the gate when I watch him run. It's like, oh, this motherfucker can run quick. And I still, that still gets me every time. I've seen this guy for 2 years. That, and honestly, listening to that episode of Rogan's podcast this week with that powerlifter and him being buddies with Strowman and knowing that they used to powerlift together at strongman competitions, I thought that was super cool. So I'm excited to see Strowman again. I haven't seen him in a little while. He actually has been selling, I guess, because he wasn't on TV, but Lashley was. And he beat up...
Squashed Ray.
In like, what, a minute?
Yeah, man.
That was not a good idea by WWE, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I don't know what the purpose of that was.
Yeah, it was weird.
Bring Ray back after we said he was going to be out for 6 months and then have him lose to Bobby Lashley in a minute.
Yeah, it's weird. Weird stuff happening. Hot or not?
Not.
No?
Well, hot just because of the chaos,
okay.
The craziness, the tables, and they're going to be not all in the ring. Yeah.
I'll say hot. I'm expecting some kind of fucking crazy ending, like some kind of, I don't know, Armageddon 2000 Jericho Kane barrel, like something big feat of craziness.
Maybe outside.
Yeah,
they'll be outside,
hopefully,
literally.
Man,
that would be cool.
I don't want to set the bar too high though.
Like Lashley runs him over with a car or something fucked up like that.
Fucking Hulk Hogan and The Rock here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Choham would love that.
He could steal his dad's coffin at his funeral. Drive away.
Oh, that was a great storyline, eh?
Oh, fuck. I'm happy I didn't watch that live, to be honest.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Just a little.
Too much?
Maybe, yeah.
We'll
but maybe we can look back at it.
We'll look back.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Road.
So, anyway.
The
final two?
I say Braun.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
I'm going to go with Braun. I heard he's getting steamed up. I don't know if you can capture that shit again, though. That shit that we witnessed at the live. Can you?
I think so.
Yeah?
I see where you're coming from. But I don't know what it was, but when I close my eyes and picture that Strowman magic.
Remember that at the live event?
That was part of it, yeah. That was, I forgot about that, actually, what you're talking about. That was, yeah, he was over as fuck at that live event. But I meant, there was times where I would watch the TV, and if I was sitting with somebody who didn't watch wrestling, I know they were looking at that going, why doesn't that guy have the belt?
Yeah. You
know what I mean? And there was a time when that was, he was the guy on the show. He's not there now, but I think he could get back there. He's a big enough guy. He's not just a big guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This guy's got a lot.
Yeah.
He can sell, he can move, he can actually wrestle pretty well.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I don't know. Shout out to Braun.
Yeah, man. I'd like to see him on top. I just think they got to do him right,
Yeah.
Lashley, I don't know. This feud's kind of made me want to see him. Like, I'm a fan, but I don't know what he does after this.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. This is your favorite. This is your match of the night right here. We got The Undertaker and Roman Reigns against the best in the world.
This is another one that I forgot about. Is this going to be a fucking 8-hour card?
And Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. I'm going to say hot, honestly, just because, like...
The Undertaker.
No, it's you're going to laugh. It's him and Roman. I'm actually kind of excited to see them be a tag team together.
You've come a long way with Roman, eh?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say I'm a fan, but I think it's cool I've accepted that he's a big star.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether I like him or not. He's one of the top guys, and it's cool that, Roman Reigns and Undertaker are tagging together.
Yeah, no, it is. It is pretty cool.
And the fact that Undertaker's wrestling at fucking Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
In July. You know what I mean? Like, again, I know I said it once before. Wade brought it up this week. Like, I think we were all kind of under the impression that Undertaker was only going to come out of his den for Saudi Arabia money. You know what I mean? But apparently not. But I think, again, we talked about that on previous shows, and this is him trying to wash away anything that happened in that Goldberg match.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
It was really bad. Well, that might have been me and Shane that talked about that, but either way. Yeah. All right, let's get through these final two matches here.
Not.
Yeah, Kofi and Joe?
No, I'm just saying not for the end.
For Undertaker.
Who wins though? Who do you got winning? Roman and Taker?
Yeah, it's got to be Roman and Taker. It's got to be.
I got Roman and Taker as well. Do you think Undertaker fights at SummerSlam?
No.
I think he will.
I
think so.
I won't be disappointed if he does because I'm going to be there, but no, I don't think he's going to be there. No.
No. It's going down. That's why he's here. I personally think. But I'll
To fight who at SummerSlam? Drew?
Hulk Hogan. So we got WWE Championship match: Kofi Kingston versus Samoa Joe.
Yeah, the number one contender.
How
man.
did he get that?
He worked
How did he
hard.
like beat a bunch of guys?
Yeah, bro. He worked his way up the rankings,
Yeah.
slowly chipping people away and chipping away, not losing, building up streaks until he was able to challenge the champion, who, again, the champion's undefeated in the past, 3-4 months?
That's pretty. Yeah, I hear about that. I forget. Yeah, Kofi.
And that sounded sarcastic. It wasn't. That was actually
Yeah.
genuine. Joe getting his number one contendership, I can't say the same.
What?
I'm gonna say not,
Not.
and I'm gonna say Kofi.
What's the stip? There's no stip.
No.
It's the fact that Joe got the match. That's what's extreme about it.
Yep.
I get
It's
it. Okay.
it's gonna be.
I get it.
I can't think of something.
Well, he
funny.
got the match. It's the bottom of the contendership, just getting a title match. That's fucking extreme. You know?
Sure, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
So,
I don't know. I'm not excited for this. I hope it's the co-main event, which it probably
Oh,
will be. Or
fuck.
let's hope it opens the show. To be honest, maybe
Dude,
not. I don't want to wish that upon.
you know
Kofi.
I'm not the guy for this, but yo, hit that Lesnar baby right here. I'd love for that to happen.
That music.
Oh, give me that. Give me that. Take that fucking
the
belt off
cash
this
in.
motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm down with it.
I'm over this shit.
I'm not over it. I think it's just, it was a good run.
Yeah.
You know, it played its course. It played. You're not feeling the same. I can tell.
No. I want Brock to. I definitely just want him to I know he was building to Seth, but I want him to just gun for Kofi. Like it'll just be like, no, change my mind. I want this belt.
We'll see. I think that might happen at SummerSlam, but
Yeah, that's what I said.
but
too,
maybe
yeah, so.
maybe before. You never know.
In the main event of the night.
But actually, before
Oh yeah.
you
okay.
get to that,
What do
just
we got?
quickly, because Heyman this week on Raw. Do you hear what he said?
He brought that up.
He brought the spoiler thing up and the fact that he hasn't been wrong since 2014. And he brought that up on Raw. And then he said, spoiler.
So someone's getting fucked.
Yeah.
That's what you're telling me.
Either that or it was finally the time for Heyman to pull that card.
No, why?
And not have it, go through.
Wait a minute. Did he? No, but you know what?
Every time he's ever said this is a spoiler.
Didn't he say that going into WrestleMania? I feel like he did at one point against Seth.
I can't see Paul Heyman lying. Like, I just, honestly.
Oh, really? Paul?
No, but in like his care, like
Yeah, no.
I can see Paul being smart enough that he would know the marks would pick up on that. Like, and guys like Wade Keller are gonna pick up on that shit. If he's gonna go out there and say, "I've never been wrong since 2014,"
What did Wade say about that? Just because I know he's pretty.
he just he thought that Heyman thought it through. Like you know what I mean? Like it wasn't something that was spontaneous or just like, oh yeah, maybe I did actually, was I wrong once, or like he wouldn't go out there and say that unless he knew that.
Yeah, he's enough of a mind. Yeah, you're right, and that's.
I don't know if he said it for Mania, man. I really don't think he did.
There was one point that he said, "Newsflash, Seth."
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, Seth versus.
Speaking of Seth, yeah. Woo.
Come on.
Becky and Seth against Corbin and Lacey Evans.
The dual championship match.
Oh shit!
Did you know that this is
it's extreme? It's an Extreme Rules match.
Yeah,
as
I knew
well?
that.
Okay, I
yeah,
knew that.
it's
Okay,
Extreme Rules.
All right.
So I don't really know. Like, is it an elimination
Is
match?
Corbin gonna hit Becky and Becky? Like, are they gonna fight?
No. Which to me is, I'm sorry, come at me right now. I don't care. I don't think it's okay for the woman to hit the men if the men can't hit the woman. I just think don't let them touch each other.
I'm calling this right now. Nah, the match. If they don't shock the world and these guys win by some crook or thing, and we can get to that little theory in a sec. Becky's winning with the armbar on Corbin.
Yeah,
That's how this is ending.
Yeah, but I would hate that. That's
I know, but
fucking bullshit.
That's what's happening.
I'm sorry. I don't want to sound like a sexist. I'm not, but that's bullshit.
That's how this is ending.
If that's how it is, then that's how it is. You don't fight each other.
No, but dude, I think they're gonna try and light up
Because it's not fair.
No, but here's what
What's
I'm saying.
Corbin supposed to do? Sit there and take it?
No, I think they're gonna light it up a bit. 'Cause remember at Mania for the first time in fucking ages, like when
Ronda did the flip to
there was
Triple H.
interaction, and Triple H grabbed her for a pedigree. I think Angle did some shit to Stephanie. Like shit happened, and I think they're gonna mix. If they were smart, they would.
I hope
that
so,
into
man.
this.
I think it's one of those wait and see things because I really hope so.
That's shock factor. That's shit that we're gonna be like, oh, like, because when it happened at Mania, I was like, I can't believe. Oh,
Did
fuck.
that just happen?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool. 1998. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, fair enough. I don't know who hot or not. Who's the winner?
This is not, man. Not. And, yo, honestly, if Corbin and Thing won, like, I wouldn't be that mad.
No?
Only because...
You know the Becky Seth stuff's probably done?
No, just because, like, it would actually... Like, people would talk. Like, it'd be a big deal. Like, it might not be a good... It wouldn't be a good move, and I don't want...
No, I hear you. It would be
But, yo,
it would be like genuine heels that you don't want to have the championship.
And
I
this
know what you mean.
title that Seth has, man, I don't know about it. Like, the value and the credibility. And
I'm not
shit
there with you.
happens. I don't think so.
I like that. Like, to me, that title's got some lineage now. Roman Reigns, Goldberg, Kevin Owens, Lesnar. Like, you've got guys from different eras that have held that belt. I know it's been contrived over 3 years, but still, it's come along. I think they've done something with it. That's for sure. They've had guys like Brock who held it for almost a year.
And
Like that title's done.
And leaves with it. It doesn't mean that much to me. It doesn't. I feel like the only time
I'm not putting
it
it up there with my the top belts.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is that belt means a hell of a lot more to me now than it did 2 years ago. Like a lot more, like significantly more.
Like when it first.
I feel like it's been around for
a while,
4 years now. So, you know what I mean? That belt has come a long way for me in 2 years.
Yeah.
And that long title reign by Brock, honestly, as much as people like it or not, that's one of the reasons. Because it wasn't just flopped around like a little fucking, fucking little toy that we share on Monday Night Raw.
To me, that was one of the bigger reasons because I didn't see it in action. Like, not that I need it every week.
We're so different that way because when I don't see a
week.
title, it makes me like it more.
No, but if I don't see it on weekly television, I'm okay. But I still want it defended
every single pay-per-view.
You know what I mean? But
I don't know.
I got Seth and Becky.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go Seth and Becky. I'll go hot
armbar,
just because of I think the match itself, like what they do from bell to bell, might be pretty good. But going in, I would give it a nod because I'm not excited for the characters, but I just think the actual wrestling that takes place in the ring, you can't. You got 4 decent wrestlers. I know Lacey Evans needs a lot, and Corbin isn't the greatest, but I think with with Becky and Seth in there, that's funny. I'm just gonna start calling them Team Beth. But yeah,
should be a knee slapper. I'll tell you that.
That it will, my friend. That it will.
Yeah.
Kind of like this episode.
Yeah, man.
It's been a bit of a knee slapper. It's funny.
It's been a good one.
It's been great. This has been a fun episode, dude. That's the first time I think we've ever propsed on air, by the way, for anybody listening. If you don't already, check us out on Instagram and Twitter at PW Lookback on both of those. If you want to send us an email, prowrestlinglookback@gmail.com is where you can do that. If you're still listening to the show, because I don't know how many people make it this far, Don, go to teespring.com/prowrestlinglookback podcast. Get yourself a t-shirt. Send us a picture. I'll repost it.
Yeah.
We'll both repost it on our fucking, well, at least I will. I'd post that shit on my own profile if you guys did that. I would love that.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for checking out the show. Like I said, this is the Roundtable episode 44. If you don't already, over on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, and YouTube, hit the subscribe, hit the 5 stars on iTunes, leave a comment, send us a DM for topics for roundtables or ideas for look-back shows or recommendations, or if you just want to talk to us, let us know. I think that's pretty much it. If you want to get in contact with me on Twitter, it's at Salsa, SCELSA.
Mine is at JustDon44.
And I think that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the look back this week. The look back. It was a look back.
There was some look back. There was looking back.
It was kind of a roundtable look back.
Yeah, we were looking.
So it's not too wrong. I hope you enjoyed the roundtable. Episode 44. I'm Nick.
And it's me, the one and only, telling you to stay classy.